Welcome to the People's Guild.
Each week we explore the Splinterland universe with guests from all across the mythical land of Praetoria.
Join us on our journey as we discuss the evolution of the game, the strategy, the lore, and the exciting path that lies ahead.
To support the People's Guild, make sure you subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcasts, and also check us out on PeakD, YouTube, and Twitter.
To send your questions, suggestions, and epic battles in our comments through Twitter or email at thepeoplesguildspl@gmail.com. We'll feature the best in our episodes and maybe airdrop you some prizes. Thanks for tuning in and enjoy the show.
Welcome back to the People's Guild. Another week, another episode. For the second time in 3 weeks, we've got another first-time guest, returning visitor. He was a fellow victim on a battle royale hosted by TPG many, many moons ago. We suffered the same fate of the, what is now burned in TPG battle royale history as the Fat Jimmy, when you go around the room and scorch everybody. Jimmy was the first and only to dish out nothing but wins for the full round robin. But yeah, we got DuceCrypto, Trade Crypto. What's the other alias? How do other folks know you?
The other alias is Shalian. That's
Shalian.
my partner's Instagram handle.
Right on.
Shalian.
Well,
Do you have an alt? Do you have a Splinterlands alt with that name yet?
No, that is one of my 3 alts. Right. So
Nice.
there's DuceCrypto, the main, Trade Crypto, Shalian, and then I also have a rental and sales account. That's GigaCrypto.
GigaCrypto. That goes with the man bun, bro.
Yeah, it does. It's my way to rent out the cards that I'm no longer using. It's great.
Hell yeah. Well, Deuce,
Check it out. Best
long
prices.
time coming, dude. I feel like, we have often crossed paths and always enjoy the banter and shit talk that comes with running into each other in ranked. The last handful of battles, I think this is worth calling out. We've kind of unspokenly seen who could out Nidhogger the other one, and we've kind of traded jabs, which is an interesting little fun dynamic. But either way, good to have you, man. Appreciate you hanging out. Welcome to TPG, dude.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Hopefully not 146 episodes until the next visit.
Let's get some background out of the way. So, tell me about your avatar, the tie-dyed haired lion dude.
Oh, sure. It's a lazy lion. So that was like a big popular NFT collection, August 2021. So I was like, hey, these lions are kind of cool. It's got a blue soccer jersey. I like a team that wears a blue soccer jersey. I was like, okay, so what other traits are there? There's only 8 different traits in this collection. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get with the blue soccer jersey. I definitely want one smoking a joint. And then I was like, okay, maybe the rainbow hair. So I looked through the collection. Out of 10,000 lions, there was only one that had the blue jersey with the joint and the rainbow hair. So it's mine. So that's my lion. And so I've just been rocking out this lazy lion ever since.
Yeah, it becomes like that. It hits a point where you just recognize people by their avatars.
It is, yeah. So that's me
Bam.
across the cryptoverse, right? So I use DuceCrypto not just as my Hive handle, but it's like my crypto handle on X. I use it on a bunch of different social media platforms, and so yeah. So I use DuceCrypto to be my crypto alias for all things Web3.
Yeah, I could relate. Mine has evolved into that as well, where I just use it for everything. Fat Jimmy for everything.
Nice.
I was going to ask. That's a great question to kick us off with. Deuce, for those of you that know anything about Deuce, he's a big music guy. I feel like just about every week you're going to catch some live music. You're going to, rock out at some EDM festival or, pound pavement somewhere in the city at some late night shows. Do you have an alias in the like a Wook alias? Is that a thing in the EDM world?
It is. So a bunch of my friends, we all shared the same first name, so I had to come up with a nickname. And so actually I actually used the name Deuce as my rave nickname.
So
Dude, that's
nice,
how it
man.
works, man. That's how it works, man.
Actually, I got the nickname Deuce when I was working at the NBA. So there were again a bunch of people with my same first name. So my last name started with a W. W was Dubs, then Deuce, and somehow like Deuce just stuck, right? And this all came from my last initial being a W, and I got to Deuce. But I was like, you know what? I really like it. I like Deuce. But what I needed to do to get on all social media was I needed to get rid of the first E. So I spelled Deuce D-U-C-E, right, instead of D-U-E-C-E, whatever. So like it helped me
Dweez.
get, yeah, exactly. So now I got DuceCrypto on all the platforms. The funniest thing I find is that like anybody who's like Spanish speaking, Latin speaking, they see my name and they think it's like a Duce or Duce or something like that. I'm like, no, 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 no. Very American. This is Deuce. This is Deuce. I'm Deuce. Hi.
Dude,
Dude,
that's
check. Well,
awesome.
you got a built-in alias when you go abroad, dude. They'll do
It
check.
is. It's great, dude. I like yeah. I like
Dude,
Deuce. Deuce is good.
same names spawns nicknames, man. When we had a drummer join our old band, Mountain of Venus, we had the same first name, right? So he walks in the house. Literally, he flew in from St. Louis. He comes to our house in Boston, and for one of the first, we were sitting down the first night, we're all having some beers. Like, we both have the same name, so we got to call you something else. We're just gonna call you Stingray. It was like this arbitrary nickname we just kind of made up, and he like hated it at first. He's like, "No, it's so stupid. Fuck that." No, 20 years later, band long gone, he's still known as Stingray. Like that's
That's
his.
awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it would blow people's minds if people at the NBA knew I was still going around using my Deuce nickname.
Are you saying NBA as in National Basketball Association?
Yeah, yeah. So my first job out of college, I worked for 5 years as a highlight editor for NBA TV. So this is, it's kind of a sick job because you're working while the games are going on. So I hit the studio at like 6 p.m., get an early game, 7 o'clock. Maybe I get a late game, 10:30. I'm making sure we got like a 2-minute highlight reel for each game, got a head and tail, all the post game sound. We get to leave when our overnight loop is done, right? So once our highlight show that we're going to show all night, that half hour, every half hour, once that's done, I get to go home. So 1:30 to whatever. But it was a fun gig. You're sitting around watching basketball. It was a union gig since I was working in New York. Gotta love that. Only had to work 9 months a year. Got off for the summers. They wouldn't keep us employed for WNBA. I had a blast. And then they moved NBA TV from New York City area down to Atlanta with Turner, and that was it for me. Got to stay in New York. Wasn't about moving to Atlanta.
I was gonna ask. I said I'm from New York, and I'm recognizing some accent familiarity
Mm-hmm.
there. So
Most
are you
definitely.
from New York City?
No, I born I was born in Manhattan, but born raised just north of New York City in New Rochelle. So
Get
the
the
cool
fuck
city of the
out of
South.
here!
Yeah, from New Rochelle.
I'm about, I don't know, 4 exits up 684 is where I
Okay,
grew up. Yeah,
got
my
you.
grandparents were in Harrison, Mamaroneck, Rye area,
Mm-hmm.
right down there. New Rochelle was very common stomping grounds.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly,
That,
all the bars I used to drink at in high school are now closed because I own a college. It's like, hey, this is a bad influence
that's
on
where
all.
my dad went to college. Get
There
out
you
of here!
go.
Get the
Yeah,
fuck out of
yeah, come on.
here!
I mean, look, I own a college.
Yeah,
It's right there on North Avenue. It's like the backbone of the city.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. When did you graduate high school?
Class of '99,
Okay, so you're
the
way
last
way
class of the
younger than I
millennium.
was thinking, and that you might be than I am anyway. So
Oh, that's so
yeah,
sweet of you to say.
yeah.
I don't get that reaction. I don't get that reaction when I'm out raving on the weekends. They're like, "Oh, look at this guy, so young at the concert." No, no, I wish.
Who's that old guy over there raving?
Stop, stop.
Oh,
I
dude.
don't know.
That's awesome.
those dance floors will keep you young. There's something about the energy, everybody out there dancing, losing their minds, all moving to the same music at like 4 in the morning. It'll just keep you young. That energy, it's so great.
And there's nothing like doing the worm at 3 a.m.
Mm.
Doing the
Bam.
worm? Is that what you said?
The worm, the robot. What was that wiggle thing that
Yeah,
you do?
yeah, yeah. The robot,
That's
the
something
worm.
they
You're
push
getting your
the head.
belly down on the ground. You can't do. It's too sticky. The club floor is
Oh,
way too.
dude. We had a bar back literally break his ribs doing the worm at a Christmas party at a bar I worked at. He was just taking these running jumps and he was wasted, running jumps and fucking launching and like slamming on his chest and then doing the worm. And he just kept doing it. And everyone's like, yeah, it's fucking awesome. Next day he comes in, he pulls up his shirt, his chest is just like, he's like, he literally had like 2 cracked ribs. It was insane.
And that story's gonna go down in legend, though. Oh man, that's hilarious. Running jumps into the worm, man.
Oh,
That's intense.
like leaping and just slamming into hardwood floor, bar floor. Oh, and we just can't believe it. You're watching it, you're just like, yeah,
Brilliant.
woo,
So Deuce,
Splinterland.
yeah, let's shift gears here. So we're all here for Splinterlands. Let's turn it back towards Splinterlands. You want to start with some tourney talk? You want to talk through mini set proposal? What's
Sure, yeah, yeah. I mean, so I came into Splinterlands as like a competitive Magic the Gathering player. I really liked competing in the tournament scene. That was something that was a huge draw for me, Magic the Gathering, and the community that was built around that kind of competitive play. You have regional tournaments that feed into a pro qualifier tournament that leads into the actual pro tournament. So you have these series of feeder tournaments, and I think that if we really want to take the Splinterlands tournament play to the next level, we really need to get away from the current tournament model we're on, which just feels really flat, and I think have some more premium events. And one of the easiest ways to do that is have a series of feeder tournaments. So feeder tournaments that feed, let's say, an invitation only event, whether it's 32 or 16 or 64. But you can have a feeder tournament, you could have a few per day to get all the time zones included. But I think having a tournament series where, again, you could jump in, all you need to do is win one feeder tournament to get in the main event. It's not something where, I need to grind and get the most points by playing the most events. I don't know if that's the kind of tournaments we need for our community right now. Like, we have ranked, so if you really want to grind away, you can do that. But I think we really want a tournament series that rewards the very best, most consistent high-level players. And so I think having a tournament series is one way that we can take things that have worked for other TCGs and use it for Splinterlands. The tournament that I'd really love to see, which I know is kind of a big programming lift right now, would be on-demand single elimination. Let's say best 3 out of 5 8-player queues, or 16-player, but eight player is really nice because I feel like best 3 out of 5, 3 rounds, you could get in and out of that tournament in about an hour. Playing all 3 rounds, I think you could do that in about an hour. And for me, the best scenario for these 8-player events would be to be able to access those promotional packs that are held in the SPS down. And so obviously a proposal would be needed to access those packs. But what I'd love to see is for us to use the in modern but out of print set. So right now that would be Rebellion, and use the tournament entry price to just be the MSRP pack price for each of those packs. So if those packs were 4,000 DEC, then your tournament entry is going to be 4,000 DEC for each of the packs you need to ante. And the great thing about these 8-player on-demand queues is that you can have a silver queue or the Antes only one pack. You can have a Champion League queue or the Antes 3 packs. You can have a Premium Champion League queue or the Antes 10 packs. And I think a simple prize format, 4-2-1-1. So 4 packs for first place, 2 packs for second place, 1 pack for third and fourth, right? That's 8 prize packs for the 8 people in the event. And that, scales up for however many packs you want to ante. So you can do it 1x, 3x, 5x, 10x, however you want. You can run them modern or wild. You can run them in specific formats. Let's say you wanted to use those Rift Watcher packs. Well, shoot, have like a Chaos Legion set only format for the Rift Watcher packs, whatever. But there's a lot of ways to structure these 8-player queues. And I think that'd be a great way to be able to use those SPS DAO packs, monetize them at the full MSRP. So we're not giving them away at a discount. So, the few whales that I've kind of spoken to behind the scenes say, as long as the packs are leaving the DAO at sticker price, no discounts, I don't think they mind so much that we're adding more cards to the supply. I think,
I was
they
just
see
going to
that.
ask that actually.
Yeah.
Like, so you basically, if I want to, if it's a 5-pack ante type
Mhm.
thing, you're buying you'd be buying 5 packs for your ante buys the packs from the DAO at 4,000 DEC. So 20,000 DEC gets you in, and dude, that's awesome. I like that idea. That sounds freaking
Yeah,
fantastic.
and so obviously we would need a proposal to, let's say, access 2% of the packs, 1% of the packs,
Yeah.
and we could start from there, see what the demand is. Now, obviously, having the devs build the queues for on demand, that's a big ask, and it's just not feasibly going to happen anytime soon. What I've been told in the short term, we could still write the proposal for access to the packs to use for these on demand queues, but we can use the tournament infrastructure we already have to make 8-player queues at set time. So they fill up at 8, it's full, done. It fires at Tuesday 4 o'clock, Thursday 8 o'clock, and so we can set them and schedule them just to look at demand. But obviously, we still need to pass the proposal if we want to do that for SPS DAO packs.
I wonder if
I've
there's a
floated.
way to kind of kill a couple of birds with one stone here. So when we were doing what really kind of spawned the conversation was during the CA player testing. A handful of us would hop onto chat and we would just go round robin. One person was screen sharing, winner would stay, or and we would just talk shop and take turns, kind of like the battle royale. But it really spawned the conversation of like a challenge room. So you could invite, in this instance, up to 8 people to come in. And I wonder if that platform, we could simply apply a mechanic where you've got to pay to enter, sort of thing. And then it would serve as a challenge room. It would serve as a tourney room. It could serve as, just like a good streaming platform. Because I think there's a lot of value there in terms of quality streaming stuff. And there's been a lot, we've heard the knocks of, oh, Splinterlands isn't really esports compatible. There's, the tournaments, there's, especially with tactics, I think it does. I understand that it takes, when you're not able to make those, have those choices of player agency live and reactionary to what your opponent's doing, it kind of takes away from the game. Whereas if we're able to do that stuff, live and on the fly and everybody's watching, I think that's a great way to kind of amplify things and move it towards something more esports friendly. So I wonder if there's actually a bigger proposal to be made there than something specific to tournaments. You know what I mean? Like, is there a way that we could request the development for something like a challenge room that allowed for an ante to enter, or I'm just looking to host a challenge room for for streaming purposes or whatever.
Right. Well, something like that can be built by any third party. Like if someone wanted to build like the infrastructures to say, hey, if I have 5 packs, I could just ante up my 5 packs to get into this tournament event. I think people have built something like that. They've done some like sealed deck battles, things like that. So, if someone really wanted to see 8-player queues available, they could build something like that. For me, the idea of the proposal is less about the tournaments and more being able to use those packs as prizes. For me, I think that being able to win an out of print pack as a prize is a huge draw for these 8-player queues. And so, to be able to, win some of these Rebellion packs while they're still in Modern, but out of print, again, I think that's a huge draw. And, it's another way of, winning prizes with these same Modern cards that I have without worrying about energy for ranked or, the cards in my account for survival. Instead, now, again, I'm basically taking a bet on myself. Hey, I bet that I can beat these 7 other players in my queue. Let's go after it. Obviously my concern is that, if we test the waters and just make these scheduled 8-player queues, I think people are just gonna, jump right in. If I think that I'm, one of the 8 best players, right, and I could consistently take down those queues, why wouldn't I jump in and just sign up for as many as possible? So I feel like, it might be tough to test the waters and run these as scheduled events. People just might like the same. You might see a lot of the same people in all the events. So,
In that
yeah,
case, would 16 play, I mean, expanding to 16 players be a feasible solution, or is that too much?
it kind of depends. So, I mean, do you want to play it out to one champion? Do you just want an event that's 3 rounds? And so, if you win 3 rounds, you get this prize. If you win 2 rounds, you get that prize. Then you can have with as many people, right? And then you're only just looking at that number of wins. For me, anything past 3 rounds, you're probably looking at more than an hour of time. And I think it's hard. Again, we really want these tournaments to be live, right? We want to be able to use the tactics. We want everything to be happening, and we don't want to have to be waiting around a lot, right? So, best 3 out of 5. If I'm done in 3 and I'm waiting on 5, and people are taking the full 5 minutes to trigger the next battle, some of those rounds can take over half an hour. So every round you add past that third is, I think, pushing it past like a feasible time to commit to trying to finish a 3-round event. So Jimmy, yeah, we could definitely scale that event past just 8 people at a time. Okay, we can take 32. But I think you want to cap it at 3 rounds played.
Absolutely. You can break it into different, brackets where you got 8 people here, 8 people here, and then at the end, the first, the best of the 4 or whatever,
as
come
long
together.
as it's Swiss pairing, so people with the same amount of wins play with people with the same amount of wins, it'll be fine. You don't even need pods. So, we could have, 300 people sign up. Just know, okay, there's going to be 3 rounds. If you win 3 rounds, you qualify for the first place prize. You win 2 rounds, you get second place. You get 1 win, you get your money back, basically. If you get 1 win, you get your money back. You get the 1 pack. But again, there's different ways to structure the prize support if you want more premium events, if you want something that's more top heavy. But I think that 3 rounds is really the sweet spot for these on demand queues. Yeah. Okay. We could also, there are people, as long as the pot's neutral, you could have like a heads up queue. Like, hey, I wager my 3 packs. Who's going to wager 3 packs to battle me?
What's a heads up queue? What does that mean?
It's just like, hey, it's like, if this heads up queue, I'm going to wager 3 packs of Rebellion. So I bring 3 packs. So someone brings 3 packs and the winner gets the 6 packs, right? It's just me versus the other person. So, it's kind of like just like a high stakes winner take all matchup. I think there might be some interest for that. People love to gamble. People love, those competitive people who are here for the thrill of the game. Rack up the juice, get them more hype for these like more valuable games. So I think that's much further down the line. I think these 8-player queues offer a lot of value, like you said, for streamers, for people winning the out of print packs, a great way to monetize some of those promotional packs just sitting around in the SPS DAO. And I think it'd be a fun way to really engage with those highest players in the game without having to do it with ranked. You're not going to be dealing with any bots, right? They're all humans playing live. You get to use those tactics that you don't during those asynchronous tournament events. And by doing it through a prop through the packs, you don't have to, trigger Clay and having to rework through all that whole tournament scenario. Like I remember that from a couple of years ago. It was like pulling teeth trying to get the community to agree on the
torture.
We have
torture.
Now. That was rough.
Pure
It was
hell.
rough. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that anymore. If I want to, unless we're blowing the whole tournament up and starting it over again, like I talked about with the regionals and the qualifiers, the feeder tournaments to the real premium events. Other than that, I say add the 8-player queues as a proposal add-on.
Man, you got me all fired up from the start. Like what you first said was, I'm coming from Magic the Gathering as a competitive player, and I see this has the potential to be an amazing esport. Honestly, I think that's how we propel into the stratosphere with this game. And talking to people like you who have experience with tournaments and other structures, like I have no experience with that stuff. People like you need to get into rooms and talk about this and make it happen. Because this is how we get that. This is how we get huge.
Sure. Well, look, the biggest issue we have with our game, though, is a game of information, especially hidden information. So if you're really streaming at the highest level and there's other people in the events, you have to do one of two things. You either have to hide your hand when you're picking the event and then really only talk about your lineup in the playback, or you have it on a delay and then the chat is totally not synced to what you're doing live. It's really tricky because if you're streaming this game without a delay, you're not hiding your hand.
Especially if there's stakes on the line.
People can see what you're doing exactly.
Yeah.
So for me,
that
does get a little bit tricky.
I mean, I feel like that's an easy fix though. Like I selected toggle to turn on streamer mode, and all of a sudden an overlay for the viewers pops up. There's no delay. Like I'm hiding my hands.
Right.
And I feel like that's an like you just mask. Yeah, you just mask the card selection stuff. Yeah. But I think, man, do you know Keegs? Did you listen to that episode?
Yeah.
Man, and
you got me fired up to talk about the tournaments. I'm just not a flesh and blood guy. I'm
Rick Loneman.
Rick Loneman. Yeah, sorry. I misspoke. Rick Loneman. Did you listen to that episode? Blewett chimed in on the heels of that. Are you a comic book guy at all?
I'm not.
Not really.
Not, unfortunately.
I don't know if Blewett, I don't know. He might be a Magic guy, but his shop is not too far from
some
you.
Cards. Yeah. I've talked to him before about that. Yeah, shop's over in Jersey. Thing is, my Magic the Gathering card days are well behind me. I hate what Hasbro did to the game. They really.
He's a Splinterlands guy. Just go talk Splinterlands, bro.
Yeah, I'm a full Splinterlands guy. In fact, I sold off basically my entire modern Magic the Gathering collection to invest in Splinterlands. So.
Yeah. Well, I think
those land cards.
Buy those land cards. So something that I've seen pop up, a sentiment that's been shared a lot of late, especially in response to um, the recent call for reinstatement of leagues, is actually what we should be doing is building a competitive environment in tournaments. The uber competitive environment is not meant to be ranked. It's meant to be tournaments, which, you know, they at first glance, that doesn't feel quite right because we all engage with ranks on a very regular basis. You know, you've got the energy that encourages you to do so. That's where you're getting your cards, which, you know, maybe there's other ways to go about it. But ultimately, I think, you know, when we start introducing stakes like this and, you know, maybe a new platform or you know, arena in which we can engage in tournaments and, you know, we really start to fine tune what does it look like to play a Splinterlands tournament? As soon as that experience is polished and pushed through, I mean, I feel like I kind of have to agree with that. Like the competitive nature of tournaments, and I used to jam tournaments all the time. It's been a couple of years since I played as many tournaments as I could consume, but yeah, I think, you know, Deuce, we were talking a little bit off air about, you know, some of the components of Splinterlands that have seen, you know, fair. I think it's an objective observation to say a fair amount of neglect over the last few years. Tournaments being a major piece. You know, even just getting registered for a tournament is a pain in the ass. Like that almost single-handedly discourages me from playing tournaments is the damn registration process. It's
Yeah,
just like, why do I have to click 5 times to play a tournament? I should just
dude,
click it
trust.
once and I'm in.
I set aside 30 minutes and 30,000 DEC once a month just to get into all my events, man. It's like, it's a process. You know, I'm really there.
Yeah.
Okay, click this one. You have to like wait 3 seconds. Okay, I'm registered. Okay, now I get to close that window. Now I close the pop-up. Now I'm going to the next one. But, you know, I would agree with your sentiment that I do think that the tournament is the place for the most competitive player. You know, especially now that, you know, leaderboard is glint, so it's really hard to monetize your place on the leaderboard. Tournament is the place for the most competitive players. And look, I think it's huge also that the tournament pricing is still liquid SPS. You know, for me, that's the only SPS I'll spend. So, you know, when I win tournaments, that goes into my play money fund that I get to go and spend on cards. All the SPS that I earn staked from ranked, from land, from brawls, from staked rewards, that stays staked. So I don't unstake any SPS from my main. Excuse me. But the tournament winnings, yeah, that's not bounded to spend. So you best believe I am treating those tournament battles as like my premium battles. And so those are definitely battles that I prioritize every day. It is a little frustrating. Like you say, they're asynchronous, right? So I can play them at my convenience, but you know, all of those tactics definitely are knocked down a peg. So those archons aren't as valuable, you know, in the tournament play. But you know, I still get a blast. And you know, you play in enough events, you see a lot of familiar names, you start to think about the strategies they use. You know, you build these rivalries, you know, against these other players and other accounts. And you know, I'm not really one who's keeping track of who streams what and what scholars on which account. But you know, I know, okay, I'm seeing this account, that account. I know what strategies they like. Look, they probably got me pegged too. I could probably mix it up a little bit more, but 100%, I think we can definitely lean into tournaments to get more of those competitive juices. But I don't mind that it's been neglected this long. I think that, you know, that tournament stuff is really going to help the players that are already here. And you know, the new card mode, the teaching new players, the foundation, the frontier. I think the devs, the creatives that have gone into making that work, you know, good for them. Everybody seems to love it. So I'm excited. I'm excited new players are coming. And tournaments will have their day. You know, I think that, you know, we'll find time to get back to that, get back to brawls. Once we start to see those numbers come in and we're starting to build up the community again, like we did 4 years ago, let's get those numbers up, and then we can really polish those areas that can, bring out the more competitive players. At the same time, I think one of the biggest things that we can do to really develop Splinterlands as a game for everybody is really work on those more casual places. You know, uh, I've always been a competitive Magic player. I love those high stakes tournaments. But the reason why Magic the Gathering is so successful is that 90% of the people who buy their cards are casual players. You can play at home, play with their friends. They like the art. They like these different themes. They're not so worried about having to place at this big tournament or, earn the most money. And they're doing it for fun. And I think when I look at all the fun people are having in Foundation, playing in Frontier mode, I'm thinking that it's because it lets them be more casual. The stakes aren't as high. So I can relax. I don't feel the pressure of needing to earn, needing to win, to justify everything I'm spending. So I think that having both is a huge advantage for a game. And so, yeah, let's build up the free to play side. Let's build up the more casual side where people are enjoying the game mechanics. And then we'll get the people who want to be more competitive, who want to spend more. Eventually they'll trickle in and, they'll come in and those people who stick, who want to spend, 5 digits, 6 digits, building that collection, getting all the best cards, chasing the premium cards. Oh my God, land. And we haven't even talked about land, right? Everything we're doing with new player, foundation, this and that, doesn't even touch the land stuff. So there's obviously there's so much that we can do. There's still so much that we can develop. So it's like,
Dude,
am
I
I
love
stressed out
the
for
little
it?
sneaky jab at land right there, dude. I catch you, I catch your sneaky little jabs in card collectors and shard holders, and there
Always.
it is, the little jab. I love it, man.
You know what?
You poke.
I wouldn't be jabbing so hard if I came into the game a year earlier and got to buy at the pre-sale. I'd be like, hey, I'm a land baron too. But that wasn't me. I don't have any. I got like 20 plots. And so I do the most with the little I got and buy what I can from the market.
Yeah, man, we were talking about that before we hit record, just so people are aware. We were
Yeah.
going on a tirade of land cards and such. But your timing with all this is fantastic because I mean, oh, all right. I make it known that sometimes it's hard for me to listen to town halls, because sometimes I hear things said where I just don't agree with. And it happened again on this last town hall where it was reaffirmed that someone asked the question at the end, hey, old cards value more utility, etc. And it was reaffirmed that land is the place for older editions. And I fundamentally do not agree with that at all. And what you bringing up tournaments like this, I want to see more tournaments modern. I want to see more tournaments wild, specifically. The past few days, I've gone through this thing where all of a sudden, I don't know what clicked in me. I'm like, God damn it, I'm pulling my Valnamore off of land. Like I want to play that damn card. I need one Lord of Darkness back in my max Lord of Darkness backs in my collection to do land, or not to do land, to do wild, to play ranked, to play tournaments again. So I'm literally pulling all of these awesome cards off of land as I build it up, my plot with smaller things. And I just want to play them again. I want to be playing these cards, and there needs to be more utility, not just for the new stuff, but for the older cards. Land should
I think
not
it
be
should be
the
both.
destiny of that.
I
Yeah,
agree. There should be
absolutely.
both. Yeah.
There should be both. There should be constant utility for the older cards. And
It should be a
I'm
tough choice, I feel like.
yes,
And
and I'm
it's
in that
not right now.
position.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm in the position I want to make that choice out of fun. And honestly, I think part of it came from Frontier mode, where I'm like, it got me into playing again, which was awesome. And
Wait,
one
wait,
thing,
wait, wait. Hold on, hold on. So did you start playing Frontier since
yeah,
last
dude,
episode?
I've been trying to get my 3 wins a day, three chests a day, 3 times 5, whatever. Doesn't always happen. But yeah, there you go. But
No
yeah.
frontiers for me.
Oh, no
I wish
Frontier
I
for
had the time. No
you.
way. No way. Look, I don't have the time. Look, I'm
You're spending
I'm
that time
typically
getting
playing.
registered for tournaments, dude.
Yeah, I'm
That's
typically
right.
playing 1 or 2 events a day. Look, I'm not playing every event I'm not playing every event, but I'm playing all the gold foil events that are not bronze. I'm playing all the regular foil events that are gold and max. And that goes for modern, that goes for wild, that goes for the new sets of Conclave Arcana, and that even goes for those Jimmy special tournaments. That honestly, I absolutely love these tournaments. They're so crazy. Like, what format I was playing? I was playing Untamed and Rebellion. I'm playing
Yes, see,
Untamed and
that's what I'm
Rebellion
talking about.
together, and it's
That's
great.
fun.
That's
You
what
know
I'm
why?
That's
talking about.
fun.
Because there's no range reflect. There's no so I can use
Oh.
Yoded and no one's gonna counter my Yoda. There's no counters in Rebellion. So you can just spin. Now you have deflect, right? There's a lot of deflection, so there's not as much blast
Yeah,
damage.
yeah, yeah.
But nobody's going out and just
No
playing
one's throwing the
leer
leer.
or
No one's throwing the leer
Ilfane
on
and just
you. Yeah.
countering your guy. But it's honestly, it's Jimmy. The suggestion was great. Those are some of the most fun tournaments that I play in every week. Are those tournaments just some random sets thrown together?
I
Love
love to
those.
hear that. And that was the
Yeah,
point because it's going to stir things up and you're forced to do things you never do. You're going to play Beta and Chaos Legion. Like what? Come on,
yeah, it's
like
great.
it's these weird synergies just come out of nowhere.
Jimmy, I was never ever touching my tournament deck for land. Never. Everything I put on land, I think, except for like, I think I got the Plato guy, Plato Ember Storm.
He's good.
I think
Yeah.
he's
I
on land.
love him.
He's on
No,
land.
I
I don't
pulled
love him
mine
at
off
all.
land
No,
like
I don't love him.
today.
Jimmy's a fire guy through and through.
I don't love Cryptomancer either. Those guys both work land, but pretty much everything for my tournament deck is
That's cool. I'll
is
just
my
kick your
tournament
ass
deck.
when it
Like I
comes up to
want.
use that Play-Doh.
Oh, come on, whatever.
So
Come on. For
good.
the mana, there's so many fire summoners. You'll be fine without them. You'll be fine
Well, it
with them. Just
depends
like you're
on
fine
what's the
without
rule
Crypt
set,
Mans.
bro. What's the
You're
rule
fine
set,
without
bro?
Crypt.
Melee
Uh,
only? Come
no,
on.
no. In Wild, just nobody's running them anymore. Melee only
Well,
in
that's the
Wild.
thing. I literally today was
What's
looking at
wrong?
everything and I'm like, I'm pulling my Cryptomancer, I'm pulling my freaking or Cryptmancer, I'm pulling my Play-Doh,
Some of
I'm
those
pulling my
cards are
Renyan, and
just
I'm pulling my Bow.
not good enough. Not good enough in the new Wild. These tactic summoners and stuff. They're
Well, I'm
just not
leaving
good.
my Peakmancer on land right now that, 3 armor, 1 ranged isn't quite
Never
enough.
bought that guy. That guy did not qualify for
I
Deuce's
needed the full
collection.
collection. Well, I mean,
I
back when
don't
it
like
was
life. I don't even have the other guy too, Chancius. I don't like life. I don't like that splinter. I don't like that element. I don't like rev- building armor, like none of that stuff. Tank heal. I don't like any of that nonsense. Get
Don't you
life
think
out of my face.
life has evolved though? I don't think it's not that sustain like
well, life used to be
revival
steak
play
heavy,
that it
dude.
used to be. Yeah, the old
I
school
actually,
life like Silver
I
Shield Assassin
literally,
and the
yeah, I
Feral.
just
What is it?
bought,
Life is
I
now,
just
you
bought
and
that.
Bloodline, right? Life is all about.
I'm not playing modern. I'm going to be honest, man. I'm literally refocusing on vintage shit right now. I literally just bought a max silver. There's been some great prices on betas, man. Like the past few days, I've been
I'm
like,
there.
I bought a max silver shield assassin the other day to play. Like I have one on land and I was going to pull it off. I'm like, it's on a good plot. I bought one to play. I'm like, this is too good. And
That's
I've
a
noticed
solid
my
guy.
wild bot has been playing the shit out of it.
That
You
was
throw
what I
that with
have
a
to have in
feral
gold
spirit.
foil. That one's too good. I needed that guy in gold foil. So honestly, I love playing
Jealous.
those gold foil events, right? Because obviously the prizes are like double because
Yeah.
the CP
You have a max
is higher.
go foil?
Yeah,
Yeah, I got like a level
yeah.
4.
I
I got
needed
like
that
some
guy
of the
in max.
base. Yeah,
No,
so
but look,
good.
it's so
So good.
hard to find those key beta cards, untamed cards in gold foil because they're all on land. That drives me nuts that those older cards, because they're foil, have such a PP premium that I can't even get them to play in tournaments. You can't find these max beta cards in gold to play in tournament events anymore.
Yeah.
So that's always been a little frustrating, you know. But that's like the nature of land. I gotta, at least it keeps the price high. But yeah, I mean, it's
No, maybe I mean
as
maybe it's a
look at
matter
that
of
as a gold
shifting the
foil
dial
player.
on the demand for tournaments, and people will respond just
Yeah.
like you are, Jimmy.
Yep. It
Start
needs
pulling
to
their
be a
cards
hard
off of
decision.
lands and competing again.
Never
Yep.
put
It
it.
needs to be a tough, I want to sit there and say, like literally be stumped for hours and all of a sudden realize I wasted like 3 hours trying to figure out if I want to keep cards on land or pull them off for tournaments and playing with. Like there needs to be more hard decisions that way.
For me, it's no hard decision. I need one of every card in my
Bam.
collection before I put it on land. Very simple.
Except Peak Rider.
Oh, I never owned that guy. Yeah, never owned it. Never owned Chance. Yes. No, look,
Peak Rider actually has some cool lore that I think you would appreciate. That's one of the only cards that
Right,
I
he's like
happen to.
undead
Yeah.
death.
He's like
He
a
was dead once.
saved
Yeah.
fallen demon or something like that.
for
He's
three
actually good.
armor,
He's great in ranged only,
save it
man.
for
Minus
himself.
one range and freaking 3 armor. Bam.
Get out of here.
Get the fuck out of
What's
here.
armor? What's armor gonna do against my Lorcus? Okay, not a whole damn lot. Get out of here.
Get the fuck out
Get
of
out
here.
of here. That armor's not doing anything.
Well, I also want to bring back individual edition tournaments. In addition to these dual, I love playing single edition events like that. I used to anyway.
So I think that's a great place for the 8-player queues. I
Yeah.
because we're spread too thin with not only the different formats, but then also the different league levels. I think there'd be more room for varied formats if we trim down all the different league levels we have for our tournaments. And so I think that's another place where it's like, hey, do we need a bronze? Sorry, do we need an adept, intermediate, advanced, and expert level event for each tournament format?
It's
I don't.
bronze. I don't know where all those crazy names
It's
came
not. I
from.
know.
Bronze, silver, gold.
Adept is bronze. Yes. The one I hate typing out the most is intermediate. Like, could we have just picked like
Silver.
some?
Bam.
Look,
Silver.
I like silver. I like silver just because I hate saying intermediate, but I don't mind advanced and expert. Expert
Silver
sounds
is great.
cooler than diamond. Expert. Yeah. Okay.
Champ,
Advanced.
baby. Champ.
Okay. Champ.
Bam.
When I'm tracking all my tournaments, I actually have it just down as max. So anything played with max cards, I just write max. So no
I mean,
X,
I think
Yeah, yeah.
no champ. It's max.
I'm thinking back to when I first got started, and tournaments gave me a really good excuse to rent and explore cards that
100%.
I otherwise more than likely would not have played. They were definitely out of my price range in terms of being able to go to the market and purchase them outright. So tournaments just gave me an excuse to get that taste for just a couple of days. I had a nice little bump for some fun cards to play in ranked. So I think there should be, I mean, there is a place for, the bronze, silver stuff. Uh, but maybe instead of narrowing the focus in terms of degree of difficulty, it's the sets that are available, and it's more of like a monthly rotation. Because I was just looking ahead, and the next, you said the current one is Untamed and Rebellion. The next one is Alpha Beta and Rebellion, which could be fun.
Oh, that's cool as hell, man. Come
Yeah,
on.
Well,
Come on.
that's the sort of thing that would encourage somebody like me. I don't, I do
To
own
go
a
buy a
handful of beta
Hydra and a
cards.
Lord of
Yes,
Darkness.
I'm gonna
Get your
go
Lord of
rent.
Darkness,
I'm gonna
Jimmy.
go
Go
rent
rent
those
a
cards.
Valnamore and a Renin. You need Renin.
Yes.
Renin and Valnamore. You need those two.
I'm
It's
pulling them off
it's gonna
right-
get me to
right
go
now.
rent those
Bam.
cards,
You
and
can
then
do without
maybe
the other
it
three.
also encourages me to play wild. It encouraged me to play those brackets, assuming that this
Yep.
proposal passes. Play those brackets in survival. So I feel like tournaments can actually elevate and kind of propel other aspects of the game. Maybe all of a sudden I'm keen to play a brawl fray that I've never queued up for. So I think it's a good lever to kind of like cross pollinate other areas of the game that are currently everything is so siloed. Like if you're Deuce, I know you're primarily a tourney guy. Occasionally, I run into you in ranked. There's a lot of guys that are primarily ranked and not much else. There's other guys that solely focus on brawls and land at this point. So, I feel like leaning into tournaments and keeping this sort of like set variety stuff could elevate, guys like Jimmy to go out, pull cards off of land, get back involved in tourneys, and that's going to trickle down to, maybe more wild interaction or
Do it.
yeah.
Please join us in tournaments. I want to see more familiar names. Names that I
Buy that
battle in
Lord.
ranked. I want to see them in tournaments. Let's go. But
Yeah.
but yeah, BJ was 100%. Like when I was first starting in the game, the only reason I would rent was for tournaments and brawls. And so I would, prioritize those tournaments that were around the same time as brawl. Like, okay, I'm going to rent these gold foil cards for brawl. Okay, so I'm going to play in this gold foil event that's around the same time. But you're right, I wasn't renting them for a whole season. I was renting them for 3 days.
Yeah.
Like,
Does seasonal rentals kind of just
no,
ruin that?
no, 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 no. Seasonal rentals
No?
is so much better for the game. I think
Oh,
seasonal
good.
rentals is better. Yeah, yeah. I think it's so much better for the game than the daily rentals. The daily rentals were exploitable. It was too much of a tax on the servers. I think seasonal rentals is great. You get the DEC up front. The DEC is paid up front. You don't have to worry about cancellations. So I like that.
That was
I was
such a
just talking
shitty
about.
side effect of daily rentals. Was I'm going into a
You can't
brawl and all of
play.
a sudden I realized my kitty got revoked. Ah, you
Oh my
bastard.
God, yo,
Yeah, that's
that,
bullshit. That's
that,
bullshit. It should be.
Yeah.
It should be
Yeah,
done
yeah,
like.
exactly. I
Right.
didn't like any
Yeah.
of that. So I really like that we went to the seasonal rentals. I think that model still works. And rentals honestly was one of the like foundational principles that really got me so excited about
Yep.
Splinterlands.
Same.
You
Same
know,
thing.
so many
Same thing.
decades of going back to my mom's house and seeing those cards in a closet just gathering dust. I'm like, yeah, there'd be lots of people who want to rent out these legacy staples that are just like sitting here just gathering dust. Like I know people want to play with these dual lands. Like I would love to rent them. Like I would love to be able to rent Underground Sea and not have to worry about it, getting damaged by some schmuck who doesn't know how to shuffle. So yeah, so I love
Doesn't matter.
love love
Dude,
love
did
rent.
you guys ever like when we were kids like flipping baseball cards? Do you remember that? Like there were two ways to do it where you'd
So
either
yeah,
you'd
you
huck
know
it
what?
as far as
Thank
you could, and who's ever went further won both cards. And the other one was you try to get it as close to the wall as you can. You go to a brick wall
yeah,
and you try to get it, whoever was closest to the wall won both cards. If
that
you can get
that
it
was
leaning up, that was amazing.
that
Did you
was
guys do
that
that
was
with Gathering?
nah, 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 no. So back in my day, we still had ante. So like when I was playing Magic the Gathering, we would flip over the top card off the deck, and then the winner got to keep that card.
That's
They got rid
savage,
of
dude.
it.
Wait, say
They
that
got rid
again.
of it because yeah. So the very basic beginning of Magic the Gathering, there's this principle called ante. And the idea was like when you played against your opponent at the start of the game, each person would flip over the top card, set it aside, and then whoever won that battle, that game, would keep the other player's card. So the idea with Magic is you're constantly adding to your deck or losing from your deck by beating these other players. Once these cards became a little bit more valuable, and the guy who ran the game realized, well, no parent's going to allow their kids to buy this thing if our game is basically
Gambling.
gambling.
Yeah,
So,
right. Bunch
they
of
got rid of
degenerates.
ante. But, for the first, 8, 9 months I played this game, we still had gambling. So I was gambling and, in middle school in 93. And, it was fun. It was fun, getting to win. Look, I won a card that's now worth thousands of dollars. What was it? The
What card?
Bazaar of Baghdad from Arabian Nights. So yeah, this card's got to be, I don't know. Let's see. I haven't looked at it in a while, but it's like one of these
You still
cards.
have it or did you sell it?
Oh, I still got it. I still got it. Still
Nice.
got it. Those like old cards, like early 90s. I saved most of those. Then most of the stuff I sold is the stuff that Hasbro's like, yeah, if it's worth anything, I'm gonna reprint it to make my money. So I sold all the stuff that they could reprint. The stuff that I held on to is stuff that they like either swore they wouldn't reprint or like really exclusive, like Judge foils, premium printings, from 20 years ago. But anything that Hasbro can reprint and devalue, I don't want to hold on to that. That's just asking for trouble. So I got rid of all. Like I said, I got rid of all that stuff. Turned around, invested in the Splinterlands.
It's a 2,000
Damn.
plus dollar card, dude.
Oh yeah, yeah, Bazaar of Baghdad. Yeah, yeah, it is. It is. Like I was saying, yeah, definitely four figs. Definitely four figures. Yeah, I mean, look, I still got probably another 50, 60K worth of these Magic cards lying around. And
Bam. That's a
that's
lot
on
of
the
Yodens
that's on
right
the
there,
low
Jimmy.
end. That's on the low end. Yeah. It's one of my well, this collection's outlasted a couple of my marriages. Luckily they didn't realize how much of my equity was in these stupid cards.
That's so New York.
I
Hey.
know, I know. You know what it is. And just like
Uh,
the Hive blockchain, I don't know, the partner I'm with now, I don't know if she knows what's on the Hive blockchain, so it's all good. Just don't take my car.
oh man.
Oh, that's too
Jangles,
funny, dude.
go buy a Max Lord of Darkness. I'm telling you, the price is great right now. And
It is a
as
great,
a
it is
death
a great
guy,
price. It is a great
it's
price.
the best death card you can get, man. Like
Yeah, I mean,
you
it's a
will
nice
not
one.
regret it.
No,
Way
I would.
better than buying some modern cards. You definitely
If you're gonna
go.
play with it, pay the extra $5 instead of the F-free. If you're just gonna throw it on land, save $5, get the stupid F-free.
No,
No,
Also,
buy
just
it to play with it. You
so
need a
I've got
Lord of
a.
Darkness.
There's a handful of cards that I specifically was looking for in alpha to play with my silver account, and Lord of Darkness is one. Elemental Phoenix is one.
Oh, that's a
Defender of
smart.
Truth is another one.
Yeah, yeah.
Flesh Golem. I've got a
Is now
llama.
is dude, Flesh Golem's great. Yeah.
Flesh Golem's awesome. So I mean,
Dude,
I
that's
have
one
a
of the best.
decent.
Yeah.
And this was kind of my whole thing with and Deuce. I know you and I were talking about the bracket stuff, offline a couple of days ago. This is one of the things I'm so excited about with respect to the brackets is, I my deck, my silver deck is primed for, maybe not deep survival runs, but I could definitely hold my own because I have amassed a really solid chunk of variety, and I have depth. Like I've got a lot of the modern stuff. I've got all of the Chaos Legion stuff, and then I've got a decent chunk of Alpha, Beta, and Tamed. And previously, in the current iteration of Survival, it just doesn't make sense. I can play once in a season, and then my whole deck is toast.
Dude, it's yeah, on
It's,
cooldown, permanent cooldown.
yeah, it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that saved me was the end of season refresh.
Right,
Otherwise,
right.
I would go in like 2 weeks into the next season on some of these cards. So it just didn't make sense. So like the bracket, let's shift gears to the survival bracket stuff. I know you're opposed to it. I think I'm going to quote you on air. I think your adjective of choice was silly.
Yeah, honestly, it was a little confusing. It was a little, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's convoluted, maybe the right word. I don't know. To be honest, I didn't even make it through the whole proposal. I was like, you know what? This too much going on. Let's just either keep it how it
Get the
is.
fuck out of
Yeah,
here,
I
brackets. Get the
wasn't about the
fuck out of
proposal.
here.
Brackets, what's wrong with people just bashing their cards like it was intended? These past couple seasons where I don't have to worry about my cards getting cooled off at tournaments, I'm digging it, jamming. And with the gold foils, my whole account basically renews in 2 days. So, 2 days, pretty much everything's back. I'm ready to jam from square one again.
Well, I think the big thing was making survival accessible to the non-max player. I
Yeah.
think was big. Like there's a lot of folks that let's go back to like our beginnings in Splinterlands. I
Nice.
started very firmly in as being a silver player. That was kind of what I was willing to invest into the game, and you know silver the amount of cash that I had to put into the game at that point in time, it goes a lot further these days than it did back then.
Oh, I
Uh,
believe it.
yeah, man. I mean, I was paying north of $2 per BCX of Kelia. Dr. Blight was 75, $80 uh per BCX. Yeah, I mean,
Per
so
BCX. That's the
that's
difference. Yeah, per
crazy.
BCX. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
per
is crazy.
BCX. I mean, now you can
Holy
get a
shit.
max blight for $30.
Like $6 or
Yeah,
something.
it's true. I
Yeah.
remember those $100 blights.
Yeah.
100%. Remember those?
Yeah, man.
Remember those?
Oh
So,
yeah.
so I mean, setting up as many places, I think tournaments is a great place to welcome, new players that are trying to like, find where is their spot in the Splinterlands arena. I think survival should be another one of those spaces. And the way that it currently lives, it doesn't make sense if you can only play once per season. You can't really get a feel for it if you're playing once every 2 weeks. So, uh,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah,
Yeah, brackets are great for the cooldown factor, 100%. Like it definitely levels the playing field in that regard.
I
And
think
yeah, it gives a lot more access to lower level players, which is vital. It was what you were going back to saying before earlier, Deuce. Like
But
the casual player needs more
but is
places to
is
play.
survival the right place for a casual player?
It's fun as
well,
Survival.
hell.
ranked
Yeah.
isn't either is the problem, right?
I agree. I look, I think the foundation, the frontier with less abilities, everything's maxed out at silver anyway. Like have more plot, have more stories, have that like the PvE, right? Did I use that right? The PvE, right? You're playing versus the enemy versus another player. Like have some of that. So you're like, you're questing. I guess the only issue is that, how much dev time and resources that take and what is, what income is that generating? Probably not much. But, that for me, I think you get those casual players with the story, with, with like,
Would the story have
some
gotten you?
I'm not a casual player.
Yeah, but when you started, did you dive right into the deep end? I mean, I
Kind of.
definitely started
Kind
as
of,
a
yeah.
casual player.
No, I kind of dove right in. I
Yeah.
did. I kind of really, yeah. I mean, You know,
Kind
I,
of
I I didn't even realize it took me about 3 weeks to figure out you could like level cards. Like I didn't even know you could level cards. It's just like one ofs everything. As after 3 weeks, I'm like, oh, now I see how they get better. Oh, why am I buying these one BC? I'm just gonna buy these fully leveled cards. So like I went from, a bronze player to like a gold and max player very quickly. So there
Hmm.
wasn't too much to collect. I mean, look, I realized, the cards have value from playing. People want them to play. There's an active rental market. So even if, the card gets obsolete or, you develop a different strategy, you can always rent it. So I'm like, okay, I just want to have the highest demand card. So then, there was a point where I wasn't even buying the cards for strategy. I was just looking at what rented really well in the market. I'm like, okay, this is a card I feel comfortable adding to my collection. I know it must be good. It has some of the highest rental numbers. And then even if it's not a card I want, in the long run for my collection, I could always rent it out at this good rate. So I was letting the rental prices kind of like dictating my purchases for a while. And then I was like, okay, now I finally understand how the strategy works. That took me about 3 months. But I would have been dead in the water without a guild because I kind of found this game without somebody bringing me in. I just had a buddy that I played Magic the Gathering with. He's like, bro, I know you're into this blockchain stuff. One of my friends is playing this game, Splinterlands. It's great. You have rentals, there's staking. Bro, if you're into crypto, you're going to love it. I checked it out and I was like, I did love it. But I didn't have anybody to walk me through anything. Luckily, I was like, I wouldn't even say I was like that crypto literate, but like I knew my way around a decentralized protocol. So I was like, okay, I could figure this out on my own. And so I did. I just, I Discord and joining the guild. The guild was huge. And the first guild I joined was just like in like one of these weed smoking guilds. Like, why did I pick it? It said it had 420 in the thing. It was like the
Fuck yeah,
420
dude.
syndicate or something like that. I was like, okay, I found my people. Let me go with the burners over here. So yeah, honestly, I don't think there's still some people from that guild still active, but the guy who ran it left. He got his feelings hurt, and he went to go play big time or some game, and then uh yeah, we got a few people still playing, jumping around from that original guild. But I think when did I join Kingdom of Glory or Shield of Glory? I joined maybe in April of 22, and I haven't looked back. A really good supportive bunch, a lot of not just OG Splinterlands people, but OG Hive people really helped me in exploring not just what Splinterlands has to offer, but what Hive as a blockchain has to offer. And so, yeah, really thankful for the guilds. I definitely would not be the well-rounded Splinterlands and Hiver that I am without the support of the people in my guild.
MTG and guilds. It's all coming back to these core principles right there.
Yeah, community, right? Yeah, I mean, that's what
Guild.
keeps me
Yeah.
coming back, for a while, right? Towards the end of that Chaos Legion, where things were dry and we're just dying for that new set and we're drowning in reward cards, it was really the brawls that kind of sustained us for a while. It was, the competing with your mates. Yeah, I want to be the best in tier 3. All right, now we're the first in tier. Let's be the best in tier 4. I will be the first in tier 5. Now there's like 30 people in tier 5. We need a new tier. There's too many people in tier 5 now. We need higher tiers.
Tier 6. Tier 6. It's time.
I'm ready.
We just need to revamp it all.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it sounds like that's what's happening,
Brawl.
but
well,
Guilds.
we're lacking people at the base, right? Because the rewards are so much higher in higher tiers, there's really not people starting in those lower guilds anymore and working their way up from a level 2 to a level 3 to a level 4 guild.
well, the
Right?
crowns are also a really brutal bottleneck, right? Like the only way to get them is time. Like you
Yeah.
can't, so
That's true.
if there were an easier way to, like hightail it, yeah, we might see it. But before we shift gears off the bracket stuff, dude, I want to ask, so another thing that I'm really keen to see and explore and kind of experiment with in terms of the brackets. What would you think about if we had one of the brackets that was defined as, let's call it hardcore mode? So the only thing that was
I like
different
it. All right.
from it's hardcore. The major difference being RNG is largely removed. So blind is not existent. Dodge doesn't work. If I'm playing Dr. Blight, he's throwing poison, he's throwing affliction every time.
That's hardcore.
That's hardcore.
I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if I like that at all. I
No,
don't think I like that. No.
I feel
No,
like it's a good. I don't know, man. I think there's room to explore that sort of idea, or maybe all the percentages are cut in half.
I just got
Oh,
notified on my
SPS
phone.
price alert, is that what that says?
Yeah, the crypto.com just told me that SPS is up, baby. Up 12.6% in the last hour. Yeah,
Wow.
baby. It's now
Crypto.com is the worst.
0.00885. But it tells
Boy.
me when it's going up. No, they're great, man. I love
You
it.
know what? I'm not selling SPS for dollars. I'm selling my SPS for DEC to buy stuff from the market.
I'm just saying I'm psyched that I got the notification SPS is up, man. It's been
I want
ages.
to I want to see 10 DEC per SPS, and I'm swapping again. I want my 10 DEC per SPS.
It's got to be more than that now, right?
We're close. We're close. I'm still looking at
Jump on the old tribal
800,
decks.
844 Splintoshis, and then I'm looking at 0.83 cents. So we're close. We're like 9.9. So it's definitely the best ratio it's been in a while.
On tribal decks, I'm getting 1.00597564 SPS gives me 10 DEC.
Ha-
We're
Oh,
there.
okay.
How much SPS?
I'm a B
One.
swap guy.
No, go to tribal decks and you got your ratio.
No. I'm a B swap guy. No, I can
Gotcha.
get the same ratio on B swap.
Bam. 1 SPS is 10 DEC right now, man.
No, I'm still
One-
looking at 9.91.
I'm right now live on tribal decks, man. 1.00597564, baby.
That's greater than one.
That is better than one. We're up there. We hit it.
Let's
So hardcore
let's
mode.
jump.
That's
So
crazy.
I mean
Crazy.
the catalyst for this movement has got to be the announcement of this latest proposal from Dave and Co.
Yeah.
The pitch for those of you guys that have not yet seen, check out official announcements. There's a link to a PTZ post for the DAO to hire Steam Monsters Corp for the development of a new mini set, which is going to be honoring 350 SPS per pack. Packs are priced at a fixed SPS rate. I think there was some confusion I saw kind of floating around. Like, haven't we already tried that with Rift Watchers and it failed miserably? And it's actually the opposite approach, right? Like, so if SPS price goes down, the value of your SPS as far as what they get you in terms of this new mini set remains the same. So it's a fixed conversion of 350 SPS per standard pack type. And it looks like the SPS market is responding in kind. Have you had a chance to read through the proposal, Deuce? Have you wrapped your head around what all of this means and kind of
To
staked your
be
claim
honest,
on one side of the
I
camp or the other?
haven't. I haven't. Well, I did vote in favor of the mini set just because I like cards. So I'm always going to vote for more cards. I like more strategy. I like more options. So that's a plus for me. You know, there's definitely pros and cons to pricing in SPS versus DEC. I think that, when DEC is available, it just, for me, it doesn't make sense to price in SPS. DEC should be a driver for SPS price also, obviously.
Part of the difference in this is that all of the proceeds go to the DAO, none go to the team. The DAO pays the team to make the set more than
Right,
we usually do because we're not splitting. And then
right,
all of the SPS generated goes into the DAO for future reward payouts, basically.
right.
There's that one difference there. I
I,
understand company sales being DEC. I get
Right.
that.
So yeah, I mean, look, we definitely want to pay the company in DC. They need that to pay off the credits on the back end. So it makes sense to always pay the company in DC because the company needs the DEC, right? They need that
Right.
trade, right? So they can convert the credits back into dollars that'll pay their bills, pay their paychecks. Great. So that's fine. I got no problem with that. What's the difference if the DAO's holding DEC or the DAO's holding SPS? Ultimately, what are we doing? We're swapping the
Well,
DEC
one's
for
a
the
stable coin
SPS.
and one has hopeful, way more upside. That's
Well,
the point. It's looking for the
we
future
still
and
got two
saying,
more years for that upside to arrive, right? There's no way we really see any meaningful price
well,
appreciation until the
if we get
print's over.
players,
Look,
players,
no,
players.
look,
I get
uh,
what you're saying about Prince over. It's a valid point. It's a very valid point.
it's really hard, even with new players. We would need so many new players to put a dent in the
How many?
2.8
Like 20?
billion. Come on.
No, I'm
Look,
kidding. I'm
let me ask
talking
you
like
this.
100,000. Would 100,000 players
B Jangles, how much
be
SPS you got?
10?
You got a million SPS of your own?
Almost 815,
Almost.
817.
How
Okay,
much you got,
yeah.
Jimmy?
I got maybe, honestly, I don't know. I think I just broke 700,000 my own.
Bam.
Yeah, because I'm not really buying either. I'm winning. So I think about, but here's the thing, right? But I'm a long time high end player. Even if we added 100,000 new players, and that's a crazy number, 100,000 new players. But like, let's say most of them never get past gold. So all they need is like 200,000 SPS. So that's still, what is that, like 20 million, 30 million, 600 million? That doesn't come close to the 2.8 billion that's in the system. There's just, and that was a crazy number, 100,000 players. We need some kind of, I'm not even sure.
100,000 times 200,000. What is that? Is that 20? That's 20 billion. Is that right?
How many
That's
zeros you
20
see in there,
billion.
Jimmy?
One, two, three, four. I don't know. The mushrooms are moving them around a little bit, but one, two, three, four,
Five,
five, six,
five. No, you're
seven,
right.
and
20
that's
billion.
10 zeros. That's 10 zeros. That's
Yes,
20
that's a lot.
billion
20
DEC.
billion. Okay,
That
we
would
don't
have to
have.
be staked.
Yeah, we don't have.
Well, plus the demand. Like the people need the whole point when we hit that level, people need DEC to operate and to transact. The only place DEC should be coming from at that point is by burning SPS. So
Well, we are
Let's flip
so
that.
far.
Let's flip that number around, dude. So
Mhm.
say we get 10,000 players. Yeah, I
Okay.
think for all three of us here, very reasonable number. Uh,
Sure.
that's a 4x, a 3x from where we
10,000?
currently are.
Get the fuck out of
All right. So
here.
10,000 players.
Okay,
Yeah,
10,000
let's
players.
say 10,000 players, and if you're competing anywhere north of silver, I think 100,000 SPS is probably a reasonable goal. That's a billion.
Okay.
That's a
Um,
billion SPS right there, and we
That's a bit.
have more than a billion staked. There's currently 600,000 ish, 575,000, or excuse me, 575 million that is living liquid somewhere.
Right. Now, of that billion, though, how much of that is going to be bought? How much of that is going to be rented from the people who already have it staked?
Yeah, I don't know.
And then, right, we have a billion. That's still only like a third. So I mean, obviously, less we burn some. That's about a third of the total pool, right? We still have what? We still have what, like 1.2 billion left to
Distribute.
circulating. Yeah.
I
So
mean,
yeah, it
what
looks
we got
like
to do is like, okay, so you both of you guys have been in the
1.2
crypto space
billion?
for a long time. What
yeah.
is the elevator pitch on why should I own SPS? Like, what is the value pitch there?
At
That's
the
really
moment,
hard.
it's governance. At the moment, it's
It's
governance.
hard.
How
Yeah.
many people are gonna get turned on by, ooh, I want to be able to vote? Not
I
many
just got a
Nobody.
people.
little,
Like
I just got a
Matt
Nobody.
little
Clark.
chubby thinking about that, man. A little chubby thinking about
Nobody.
Matt
SPS.
Clark is the only guy that comes to my mind in our community that loves the decentralized nature of what we're doing and loves the governance. Uh,
There's a few people. There's a draw. It's not my draw. I
it's
like
not
seeing the
mine.
number go up, but for me, it's about the competition. It's not about earning the SPS. It's
Well,
about
is
being
it
the best in
isn't
the
that? I
tournament,
mean
the
that's
leaderboard.
that's kind of that's exactly what I was hoping you guys would say because I think that's our responsibility to assign greater value to SPS, right? Like, maybe it's an access token into, I don't know, exclusive tournaments or, I think there already is a threshold, but I think we need to kind of redefine what it means to be an SPS stakeholder, especially as,
Yeah,
Dave has every intention of bringing in, a million new players.
yeah.
So the
I
number
think
of guys that are going to have more than a 500,000 SPS staked, that number is going to get smaller and smaller.
It all
And
comes down to a lot of new players. Like that's
yeah,
literally what the
it's the
whole thing
only
comes
it's
down
the
to, and more
only
utility, and more
demand
utility.
driver we have.
yeah.
It's the only demand driver we have is new players, and it's not even SPS for game functions. It's SPS to earn more SPS. Why do I need
We
to have
need more game
SPS? Well, to
function.
earn more SPS.
Well, if SPS goes up and you could actually sell it, that becomes an incentive too, I
Yeah,
guess.
but I don't
Right.
know, but the only people I know selling SPS are the third party providers who need to, sell it to keep the lights on. The scholars who are playing for a living, they're selling their SPS to, put bread on the table,
I've been
to
turning
keep their lights
SPS into
on, keep their
DEC
internet on.
lately. Does that
Yeah,
count as
yeah.
selling? To put on
Yeah,
land,
I
turn an
mean,
SPS to DEC
yeah,
to put on
kinda,
land.
yeah. I mean,
Selling.
one's gonna drive the price down, one's gonna drive the price up. So, I mean, yeah, look, that's the only reason I'm selling SPS for DEC also. That's not true. My alt account, once a week I swap my SPS for BTC. But that's just
Bam! Bam! There you go.
That's just
How much SPS a week? How much SPS a week? Are you turning it to BT?
So I'm clearing about 500 a week on Trey Crypto, and I'm crushing it on Shaley, and I'm clearing about 40 SPS per week.
Bam.
So my alt accounts, those get unstaked. Every 4 weeks, I'm unstaking the balance. I'm
And just Bitcoin it.
selling that into Bitcoin. But
Nice.
it's peanuts. And honestly, most of that stuff just comes from brawls. I'm barely even making any money on Wild anymore. Honestly, it got to the point where it's not even worth it for me to buy the Wild Pass on one of my alt accounts. It's like, what am I doing?
What
It's
level
not,
alt account is that? Is that a maxed alt account?
no,
Okay.
no. I mean,
No, it's very viable for my silver account with like 100,000 SPS.
My silver alt is doing pretty well. I got to dive in again, but it seems to be,
it's worth it
maintaining.
to buy the Wild Pass.
Yeah, I think so, man.
Well,
I got
the SPS you're winning in silver, or with
It's a silver deck. I'm definitely not
It's a
competing
silver
against
deck
silver.
that goes.
It plays in diamond.
It battles
right?
up
Silver
to
deck
like
plays in
diamond.
and
Yeah.
champ.
Yeah, it
It
plays in
battles up
diamond.
to like diamond. Yeah, but it's a silver deck. I don't put any card in there that's over silver league
So
level.
have
The
so my
silver.
trade crypto account is a silver gold foil deck. So it's just silver gold foil cards. But the Shalian account, I'm not even adding cards. That account purely plays on gold foil soulbound cards. So it competes in Brawl solely with gold foil soulbound cards. And it holds its own. Honestly, just moved it to Shield of Glory the past 5 Brawl cycles. Since I've moved my 2 accounts over to Shield of Glory, we finished in first place in all of our brawls.
Bam.
So
Nice.
we had some
tier?
gold foil. We're in tier 5. We had some
Bam.
that we had to fill, with people leaving, and gold foil were hard to fill, and so I pulled both of my alts and brought them home. And it was sad leaving the YGG brawlers. I had a great time in Nidavellir, or however I'm saying it wrong, but brawlers was great.
I didn't realize you bounced out of there.
Yeah, man. My Trey account, Trey Crypto, was a brawler for like 2 years.
Yeah, for a long time. Yeah.
Nobody noticed I left because I donated all my guild power, right? So when I left, all the guild power stayed. Nobody even noticed.
We've recently acquired
two.
Dude, the guild stuff is interesting. I feel like it's such a underutilized, underappreciated aspect, and I think it's kind of lost its luster a little bit with which sucks because it was the workhorse for a long time for me in terms of what was keeping me interested in Splinterlands. But we recently acquired, shout out to Rogue Patton, the latest Sniffelheimer and Ghostly BG. Yeah,
you got
Rouge and
Rouge
Ghostly
over
BG.
I guess they're not Iron Faith anymore. What were they? Under new management or some nonsense?
Suboptimal Execution is the new name.
Okay, so you joined you guys. If I ever, if I had an invite to Niflheim, I might have kept Trey, but I felt bad. I didn't want to take a slot in the premium guild with an alt account. I didn't feel right, and I didn't want to play, so I had to move Deuce from the silver fray to the gold fray. I didn't want my alt account playing in the same fray as my main account, so that was one of the things, right? Change the fray from my main account. But going back to guilds though, I totally agree. And look, hopefully with all the new players coming in through Frontier mode with the foundation cards, hopefully that breathes some new life into the guild mode as we, pull those players into guilds and we get them into these communities where they can see that there's more to play than just the ranked battles or the frontier mode, and there's other ways to earn in the game outside of just card rewards and potion rewards and things like that. But honestly, like I said, I don't see what's going on that side, between the 24 energy every day, and the 2 to 3 tournaments I need to play in, whether it's day one or day two. I'm busy. I'm busy. I got no time for the frontier. I got no time.
Sometimes you could crush Frontier. Like I'll sit there and be like, I got 15 minutes before the timer resets, and I won nothing. I'm like, let me just see what happens. And then all of a sudden, you just fucking you win, 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 bam, and all of a sudden you get all your chests. Sometimes you can't win any. You literally
Are
just
you,
can't
are
win.
you leaning into fire, Jimmy? Per usual.
Fire's great in the certain instances. Earth tends to be pretty, it depends on the rule set, heavily on the rule set, in the frontier thing. There's some like I don't want to give away the strategies, but there's certain rule sets require certain elements, one might say.
Deuce, have you ever been told you look like a younger Willem Dafoe, dude?
No, no,
You
no,
you
no,
you were
no.
just
You know what?
striking a facial
His
expression,
cousin,
dude.
Is that
his
true?
cousin,
Is that true? Because
William,
I got a much better smile than he has. His smile's kind of
you do
chipped.
have better teeth for
All I do
sure.
is I got my tooth chipped on a piece of jerky in New Braunfels.
On a
Still,
piece of
A
jerky.
piece of
What the hell
jerky.
kind of
Is that
jerky is this?
armadillo
nah. You know what
jerky?
it
What are you
was?
chewing down in Texas,
You know what
dude?
happened was is how
The
they got the
live cow.
peppercorns. You know what happened is there was like a
Hoof?
pebble in the peppercorns. It was like an actual friggin' rock and not a piece of pepper. So when I bit in, it chipped my tooth.
Oh, fuck
Really
that.
upset.
That's
Yeah, really
bullshit.
upset. Yeah, fuck Texas.
Fuck that noise. That's
Yo,
bullshit.
Willem Dafoe is the fucking man,
It's like,
dude. Yeah,
yeah,
I did not.
he's got some great roles. Really, some great roles.
Oh man,
His work with Wes Anderson
Platoon,
is some of
Appreciate
the
that.
best
Yeah,
ever, dude.
Platoon, going back.
yeah.
Him in Platoon, he was badass. And
I don't remember him in Platoon.
oh, oh, you gotta watch. That was one of those hardcore Vietnam movies, man. He
Yeah,
was
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
definitely
One
seen
of the best.
Platoon.
Definitely
one of
one
the
of the
best.
best.
Yeah, yeah, he was awesome.
That's
in that
that's
movie.
back when he was referred to as Larry Fishburne, not Lawrence, right?
Oh,
Really?
Larry, Cass King of New York. He was still Larry Fishburne too.
Yeah.
That's a King of New York. That's Christopher Walken. What a classic. Love that.
Ooh. I just watched the
I
scene
know.
for the other day from that where he shoots the guy.
Oh,
Where he turns around, he's walking out of the
yeah.
room and he says some derogatory and he turns around and
Oh, that's a great.
it's
That's
like
a great. That's great.
it's
That's
such a great scene. Yeah.
prime Christopher Walken. Man, what a great role for him. King of New York.
Oh, perfect.
Oh,
It was
love that.
perfect. Yeah.
You
Also, just
guys
watch
check out
No, go.
Peak D Snaps. Have you seen what's going on with Snaps? It's like, there's all these front ends now on Hive that are trying to do like the Twitter short form thing.
Sorry.
So, Leo's got their version.
Oh
I
shit.
think I think the Peak D version, what they called Snaps, I'm having so much fun on there. It's so easy to post Splinterlands battle content. I know Rogue's another guy who's been posting a bunch of Snap content, but it's so nice. A couple times a day, there's a battle I really like. So I'll write, 150 characters, hashtag Splinterlands, hashtag Hive, Gaming, TCG, whatever. I put a picture of the lineups, picture of my like victory SPS screen, a link to the battle and the snap. And it's easy, it's nice. I'd love to see more people engaging with that short form stuff. The articles, some of the articles are good, some of the articles are kind of, a little sloppy. They're just kind of getting them out there. But I love the short form. I think Snaps is great, and I'm loving the Splinterlands community coming around that short form content. I try and get on X, interact with Gold Matters and the couple people that are active over there on X. But I'm really digging Snaps. I like being home on Hive. I like the conversations. I like the layout. So Snaps would be good. I'd like to see it.
What's
And
sorry, Jimmy, I know you've voiced this frustration with navigating Hive and Peak D in the past. Everything is so fragmented, and it's a little bit difficult to track things down until you're, acclimated to
Oh,
how to
even so,
navigate. It's not
it's
super
tough to
intuitive.
pinpoint. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough to pinpoint something. I've been looking for like Splinterlands posts or things Matt had posted, and it's just really hard to
Yeah.
search for some reason.
I agree. It's not easiest to search. You can favorite articles, save them in folders. One thing that I do, like if there's an article that I think it's really important, I'll actually repost it. And so now I know that article is living in
And
my
your
feed,
In your
my
yeah,
feed
personal feed. So
and
now I
your
can search
blog.
my feed
Yeah.
exactly, and it gets a lot easier to
bam.
find. So any like really important like Splinterlands article strategy thing, I'll repost it. So I know it's there. So for me, that's an easy strategy, makes it easier to find, and you're hyping up good content.
I will
But you're
say
right.
that Jarvie and Asgarth especially. I've worked with him a couple of times, and you know tossed some feedback and saw really quick turnaround and implementation of stuff. I think Azurcon is who turned me on to using Peak D. It is the best looking interface, and as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Um, Man, if there's a better way to present snaps, like I would love to go to my homepage, kind of like MySpace, where you
Mhm.
could pull a different feed into your homepage sort of thing. So instead of just pulling my snaps, it would show like the snaps that I'm following sort of thing.
So when I'm on my Peak D homepage, right? So when I just click on Peak D, it takes you to your feed. So it'll show you articles from the people you're following. But if you click on snaps, you can click on following, so that shows you just the snaps of people you're following. You could click on newest, so it's just showing you the newest snaps. What I do is I click on the Splinterlands hashtag. So I'm only going to look at snaps that are about Splinterlands. And to be honest, I typically go through once a day and I try to interact with every single snap that someone has hashtag with Splinterlands.
Mm.
Whether it's
Okay.
liking it, interacting with the content, leaving a post, I go through and pretty much interact with every single Splinterlands snap every day.
Do you earn Hive interacting with
It's
snaps?
exactly the same interacting with snaps, exactly the same as interacting with an article.
Bam.
Yeah. And so I like the snaps because
Okay.
it's smaller chunkable content, right?
It's those
Think
quick
about
Yeah,
hits.
yeah.
reading a
Yeah.
tweet versus
Yeah.
reading an article, right? If I just want to talk about like the strategy I liked in a single battle, Snap is great. Like I said, take a picture of the battle screen, take a picture of your victory screen, post a link to the battle, a couple of those hashtags, and maybe 2 sentences describing what went on. Boom. Great post. I snap like that a couple times a day. Love it. And I can go back, I use the hashtag top battles, plural, top battles. So I know I want to go back and see the strategies I'm using. I can click on that hashtag and I can see all the battles that I've shared, right? Rogue Patton, right? He uses Big Brain, right? That's the hashtag he likes to use. So I'll tag most of my top battles. I'll tag it Big Brain so you can see those battles for his feed. But I think snaps are great, and I do think that, like you said, Peak D did the best with the front end. In Leo, right? There's the Leo guys. They have their Leo threads, which is probably the other competing front end. But I think Peak D does it better. The reason why everybody wants the Leo token now is the Leo, right? They built a DEX on Hive that works cross-platform. So, right? Well, the Hive token was kind of flat. I don't know if you guys know this, but that Leo token did like a 10x like a couple weeks ago when they integrated their network with like another big protocol.
Well, now, correct me if I'm wrong, Deuce. I think you're more plugged into this than I am, but you can select what you're earning on in Leo as you engage. Is that right? So like I could select wrapped Bitcoin or whatever and earn Bitcoin for my post versus Hive or
I,
Leo.
I honestly, I'm not really sure because I'm not really posting on Leo, but you might. I can only assume that's true because that's literally what they built that Leo Dex all about. So you can swap Leo for any other coin cross chain. I'm not sure how it's
Yes,
stored.
no,
I'm not sure what
the
platform.
psychology on that is so interesting because actually, whether you're earning SPS or Hive, like you can always do that, but because there's those extra steps, you're not so inclined to do it. Where
Right.
the marketing there is like it's seamless, right? Like I just
Yeah, we
select
do it before you behind
Bitcoin,
the
I
scenes.
earn Bitcoin. I don't have to take those extra steps when actually it's the same fucking thing. But the
That's how I feel
psychology
about
there is
my
amazing. Yeah.
Gemini credit card, right? I got a Gemini credit card, and so my 2% bonus comes back to me in Bitcoin. So I don't have to worry about doing a DCA. I get Bitcoin every time I swipe my charge card. Love it. No, but and the other thing that I think Leo does, which I think Peak D does this now also, is they run like little banner ads. They run little banner ads in some of their content. And so I know what Leo was doing is they use the revenue to buy Leo from the market, right? Just the same way we're talking about, like SPS now buying getting the SPS from the market, right? Leo uses the revenue from selling the ads and from selling their premium accounts to buy Leo from the market. Lock it up in their Leo DAO or whatever. And so there's less liquid, drive the price up. But I think, having those mechanisms in place to be able to buy your tokens from the market would be great. If Splinterlands could find a way to run a banner, have a sponsored tournament, I would be absolutely fine with the SPS DAO putting a banner up somewhere and getting some income into the SPS DAO. Great. Having tournament sponsors, having this third day of the season brought to you by our friends at Monster Market. Great. I think those are opportunities where I don't know how we sell the value proposition to the companies that are marketing with us, but I think having banners, having some ad content, I think would be a great. It certainly I don't think would make me enjoy my games any less if there was like a banner for some company up in the background. If Solana wanted to
Dude,
buy ad
even
space,
like
I don't care.
the battle queue bottom of the
The waiting
screen,
screen,
the
yeah,
waiting
while we're
screen.
waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Instead
you
of
don't
a
have a
Splinter Bite,
choice.
show me an ad. Yeah, show me an
Yes.
ad instead
Why
of Splinter
not?
Bite. Good. More
Yeah.
SPS in the coffers.
Yeah.
Great. Convert those dollars into D's, put the DEC away. Great. Have the people pay us for ad money in USDC, lock it up on base. Great. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. 100%. Let's go.
It feels like an
I
easy
think
win.
I'm
Yeah.
with it. I just
Yeah.
think, I think the advertising budgets for the companies in Web3 are probably pretty strapped, right? Who's gonna who's gonna buy ad space on Hive when you can go buy it on Base or Solana or Avalanche, whatever. So I think that's a place like if we're really chasing the ad revenue, I think that being on Hive is definitely going to hurt us a little bit in that regard. But there's other platforms on Hive that are doing it. We just got to find the best fit, the best places. But that's an option, certainly an option. And but yeah, Peak D, the place to go. Come join me on Snaps. Join us on Snaps. The Snaps are fun. X is good, but Snaps are better.
Hashtag top battles. Hashtag big brain.
Exactly.
Hashtag big
Hashtag
brain.
Hive, hashtag gaming, hashtag
Hashtag
G, hashtag play to earn. I throw them all in there. And you know where to find me at DuceCrypto.
No E. No first E.
No first E.
deuce.
Or
Nice.
or you can find me in, modern champion leaderboard.
Did you guys yeah, nice little pat on the back there, Deuce.
There you
Nice.
go.
Did you
Emma.
guys notice so a couple big things I haven't really seen. I haven't been lurking around Tavern today as much as I usually do, kind of preparing for the episode and see what folks were talking about. But there was the update yesterday. You can now turn liquidity bots off, so you don't have to play a liquidity bot if you don't want to.
Oh,
That's
no
one.
way.
Number two is the mana caps completely flipped. So
Yeah, I got a
now you're getting
92
lots
mana
of
cap.
big mana.
Yeah.
Lots of big
Nine-
mana.
I
And
noticed that.
things like neutrals only and silent summoners and back to basics have been ramped
favorite.
way down. I'm
Okay,
happy to
good.
report.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good. Yeah, I like that.
They still
We're back
exist.
to
Jimmy,
You know,
you're the
as
only
someone,
guy.
And that's bullshit,
You're the
dude.
only guy.
Literally, I was telling you before the episode. Today, I bought all of the 2 mana beta summoners for my to place my silver brawls.
Those
And
are
now they
great
got
cards, dude.
Dude,
Those
they
are great
are
cards
great.
regardless.
As long as silent summoners is a thing still.
Well, even still,
Silent
like I
Summoner
would
is
choose
not a thing anymore.
That's
at
so I
all.
just wasted like $20 buying
Not
all
a
these
thing.
silver level
Not a
cards.
thing. It's
No,
now
dude.
Silent Archons.
Oh,
No,
silent
I don't.
archons.
I don't.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
refuse to recognize. They're summoners to me now. They're still summoners. They always
They're
will
always,
be.
No, Jimmy,
dude.
you're the
I don't know
summoner.
if anybody
Jimmy,
has
you're the
fully
summoner.
converted to silent archons, man.
I
I'm
mean,
in. I'm in.
Said
I'm in.
Archon every single time
I
so
did.
far.
Look,
Notice, man,
I'm in on
this
the
Archon.
changes. You
I
know,
can't deal, man. I
honestly,
can't deal. Give me
it
my
fires me up when
action.
people use the magic color words instead of the elements. You know, when people say red instead of fire, that charges me up. But nothing pisses me
I
off
say
more
fire.
than the archery folk. Like, get the fuck out of here. It's range. There's
Get
no
the
way.
fuck out of
The
here!
people who say archery, those people are the fucking worst.
No,
There's
you're throwing
there's
axes.
no
They're
fucking
Yeah,
literally
you're throwing
axes.
axes.
No, that's range.
Axes.
That's a range
Yeah.
attacker. That's a range attacker.
Yes, I agree
So,
with that 100%. I've
there
never
are
said
characters
archery,
that are archers. There are, but
but they're
there's,
ranged.
They're not
so
all
they're
archers.
ranged.
there's
Yeah,
no archery
totally.
unit. Get the fuck out of here.
Get the
That shit-
fuck out of except
that
the silver
grinds-
field
That
archery.
grinds my gears.
Archer.
I don't
Yeah.
want to hear archers. Okay, I don't want to hear that. No
Oh,
way.
I
man.
get you.
Oh my
I
God.
get you there.
I
hear
would,
that
I
one.
would. Every time I heard Dwayne say that, I'd be on his YouTube like, bro, there's no such thing as archers. There's no such thing as archers. It's a range.
One
attack.
card.
Range.
One card.
Range, bro. Range. Say range. But besides that, no, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good on the new stuff. I like embracing the new stuff.
Can't do it,
Units.
man. Archon doesn't roll off.
It's more habitual than anything else, man.
It's less.
Yeah.
It's even less syllables. It's easier to type. It's easier to say units
It's a made-up
instead of
word.
monsters.
It's a made-up
It
word.
is a made-up word. I'm trying to figure out how
Archon.
it works.
It's
Is
not
that a real
it,
word?
It's got to mean something. I don't know.
A
We use it in
a
Magic.
Greek word that means ruler,
Yeah, there you go.
frequently used as the title of a specific public office.
Ah. The Archon of Sanitation in
I
ancient
think-
Greek.
Yo, that's
Archon
Dallin,
works
dude.
really well.
That's Dallin.
Not only does it work well, but I like the juxtaposition of the A for Archon and the U for unit, the way they work that into the UI. I think that's actually really nice.
All right,
I do
that's a
like
good
that.
point.
I'll
That's
agree
a
with
valid
that. I
point.
do like
That's a
that.
valid
The-
point.
the
I
units
noticed
and
that the other
Archons,
day.
I like
I didn't
that.
get it.
I like
Now
it
I
very
get
much.
it. Okay.
I also like
Because I
how
don't
we
keep
have
Archons, so I didn't get
the
it.
shapes also with the colors for rarity, right? You got kind of like the circle for common, the pointy thing for
Yeah.
rare.
The square for epic, and then the
What's the
up point.
hexagon or whatever?
Yeah. Then
But yeah,
legendary.
so I like that. I like the symbols. I like that stuff.
Not cool, man. But yeah, that's a huge update. Jimmy, I know you're a big back to. Are you a back to basics guy, Deuce?
I don't
Rogue is a big back to basics guy. Mondroid's a big back to basics guy.
I don't
Jimmy,
hate it as much as other people, but it's not a battle. It's not a thing that excites me. I'll tell you, the ones that excite me are the ones that severely limit your card choices. You know, so odds or evens. I love that. Now I'm only working with half my collection.
No
really
legendary.
like- Yeah, no legendaries.
Ooh,
You
I'd
know,
love to see the reverse of that. I want to see no commons and rares.
no
Only
commons and rares.
legendaries
That'd be
epics.
kind of fun.
Bam. Who's listening? Dave, you listening?
But
No
so
commons and rares.
I like those because you're playing with more role players. You're forced to use cards that aren't in your like
You're forced to think.
automatic
Your
stats.
wheelhouse.
You're
Yeah,
forced to
sure.
think on your feet.
And they reward you for having the deeper collection. So,
Yep.
as someone who likes to collect, I like it when we're rewarded for having the deep collection. So, something about those battle rule sets that restrict the cards you can choose from, I find to be most exciting. Part
So
of it is
if you could wave a wand and insert a new rule set or two, is there anything that you've been kind of mulling over that you'd like to see? You know, so we got no commons and rares or no commons. Is there something else that you guys have thought
is there
about?
something else?
The opposite of back to basics, where every card has every ability.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
want
it's called Mimic, bro.
Oh, yeah. We never fixed that yet, have we? No. Under
I'm
the
trying to
rug. It's
I
under
mean,
the rug.
maybe you could do something like opposite of Little League, right? You can only play with stuff that's 5 mana or more.
Mm.
No, but then you'd have to be conscious of what mana caps it came up with. But that's a limiting one. I think that would be fun because there's a lot of role players in those low mana roles, but I got to pick everything 5 mana or above. I think that would be interesting. You wouldn't be able to fill a lot of the, in those mid mana battles, you might not be able to fill all your slots.
It'd be like Frontier.
Gross.
That's
That sounds awful.
what happened. That's what happens in Frontier. You get a 30 mana battle, a 30 mana battle,
A 30 mana beta.
30 mana battle with the banana fan and no, you get a 30 mana battle, and then you have like 2 or 3 cards you can use. You just
I'll tell you which one I really don't like. I don't like the rule set where you got to pick someone that has armor. I feel for me, that's like one of the things that's like,
you hate armor, man. You hate the Peak Rider. You hate the Life armor. You already said you hate
it's
armor.
hard for me to like, okay, now I can only pick from units that have armor.
It's limiting. It limits you.
Yeah, the same one. I don't like the one where it's like you can only pick monsters with 5 or more health. It's hard to remember all those monsters with 5 or more health. Like it's hard.
Yeah, you got to scroll. It's all in the moment. You're scrolling.
Yeah, and the bigger your collection, the cards you got to look through. It's annoying. And I'm trying to do that on my mobile phone. Like, fuck out of here.
Are you a mobile guy?
Yeah. Well, so look, I got the fold
dude.
phone, right? So I got the phone that like folds out into a square. So honestly, when I'm playing on my mobile, I get like a really nice view. So like I'll like load the keychain like right on my mobile.
It's a cross between a giant phone and a mini iPad. Yeah,
it's great. I mean, look, the battles look great. I can actually set it so that I'm not playing in mobile mode, that I'm playing like, on, I don't know, it looks great. Like I have plenty of room to like do everything. Like if I'm playing a battle on my phone. Yeah, so I am a big mobile guy. But that's only because I have a big mobile that can, help me do the things. But yeah, I do. I play a ton on my mobile.
I want to see a rule set that is no legendary summoners. I feel like that's low hanging fruit. That should have come in a lot. No,
that's something. There's been some
Little League. Little League is the only one.
Okay, yeah, Little League. That's something.
Little League, you can still use legendary summoners. They're legendary.
No, there's been some
if they're under 4 mana, yeah.
Yeah, like Quicks. You can use Camilla.
Okay. But even the what is it? You can only play commons and rares. You can still play legendary summoners. You can play epic summoners. Yeah,
100%. Yeah. So Lost Legend. Yeah. So all of those rules that have to do with the rarity only affects units, not summoners.
The monsters. Yeah.
The units, not monsters.
The Unix.
Yeah,
exactly. The Unix.
It affects all the units.
You guys keep saying summoners and monsters. We'll have more Unix.
More Unix summoners and monsters. We'll have 3 different types right there.
Yikes.
Yikes.
Oh my God.
The correct
34
answer.
minutes, 34 minutes until my energy bar is full. Might have to take a battle mid interview.
Do
Oh,
it.
shizzle.
Do it up. Bam.
No, I'm in a good place right now. I'm in my push for Champ One. Last season I didn't make it to Champ One in Modern anymore because these bots were kicking my ass.
Man,
I don't know. Maybe I will turn the bots off. I feel like if I turn the bots off though, then I'm just gonna play against scholars at like 7,000 rating. So maybe it's better I play against the bots.
I will say one thing that's amazing about Frontier that I've noticed is okay, so I think there are, if this has remained the same since the last upgrade, 4 active bots in Frontier mode. So hardly any. And if you go to play Frontier, you get a match usually within seconds. Like usually there's no wait for matches, which means there's a shitload of actual players playing that. And that just bodes very well for the future of everything, I think. Like literally,
I
go to
like
play
Frontier, man. I'm glad you started. I'm glad you picked it up, Jimmy.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that there's that many human players. Like, I'm like, there's literally like almost never a wait to play. And on one of those, I think 2 weeks ago, the TP, Sunday thing, Royal Eagle was saying there's only 4 active bots in Frontier.
Well, I'm glad people are liking it.
Yeah.
Honestly, great, great.
Yeah,
Well,
no, it's huge. The whole point was people enjoy, there was a debate of, some people saying, well, people don't enjoy the game. They're just here for the crypto. And other people
oh,
saying, no, the game is actually fucking fun. And now they're proving, yes, the game is actually fun.
yeah,
And people
I
like to
couldn't
play it.
imagine staying here for the crypto.
No,
I
yeah,
would have
yeah.
lost my mind. I would have been
That blew my mind to
if I
hear
was
that
here for the
argument too.
crypto, I would have been long gone. And look, we shook most of those people out. The people who are here for the game, here for the community, they're still here for the community.
Yeah. No, it blew
People
my
here
mind to hear
for
that
the game,
argument.
you're
Yeah.
gone, out of here, goodbye.
Nah, nah,
All right,
nah,
this is
nah,
an awful
nah,
lineup.
nah.
I just put in an
Hey,
awful
hey,
lineup
hey.
just to get this game over with.
In modern,
Oh yeah, this lineup's bad.
who'd you get matched up with?
Instrumental. I don't know if he plays his own account. I was like, you know what? I don't have. It was like, only four months for units per team or whatever. So I'm like, I'm
For
not paying
you.
much attention. And look, I think that's probably my biggest problem in modern is that the tournaments I'm kind of locked in. When I'm playing ranked, it's like, oh, I'm like waiting for my opponent. Now I'm like on another tab. Oh shoot, I didn't hear the battle go off. I click, oh, now I only got like a minute and a half to get my team in. I still got my 20 tabs open. I'm completely distracted. Happens too often. I'm not locked in on the ranked like I am for tournaments. So that, brings us back to the beginning. We need more premier tournaments.
Casual.
It's like boom,
I mean,
locked
that
in.
speaks to the competitive nature of tourneys. Yeah.
Yeah. But also, typically with the tourneys, the way the timing works now, typically I play my tournaments like first thing in the morning. Like I wake up, drink my fluids, bounce on my little trampoline, and then I, hop back in bed and get on Splinterlands for a little bit. I'll play on my
What is the
phone.
trampoline, dude? What is this?
Well, I think in the workout world they call like a rebounding mat or a rebounding thing. The science is that it you got a lot of those like lymphatic fluids in your calf, right, behind your knee and in your shoulders. So by like bouncing, right, you're working your muscles going up and going down. So the contracting and then the tightening, loosening, whatever. So the bouncing helps move the lymph first thing in the morning, helps you activate. And it's like a very kind of like easy low pressure workout. You're just bouncing around, kind of like moving your arms. It helps increase your blood flow, helps warm your body up. It gets my day started. I love bouncing on my little trampoline.
Are these little trampolines that Jangles would see at a Fish concert? Is that what we're talking about?
Nah. So I actually
Probably.
found
It's probably very similar.
I found this one. This was like another one of these in like end of the month, on the side of the street in New York kind of thing. It was like a rock climbing gym. I guess they were getting rid of some old equipment, and one of these trampolines had like a little like burn mark in it or whatever. So there's like a little burn mark in the platform, and so it was just like sitting out there. I'm like, I'm gonna carry this 5 blocks back to my apartment, and so I've had a trampoline on my patio now for the past 2.5 years.
How big is it? What's the diameter of this thing? Are we talking?
Oh, maybe diameter, maybe 3 feet.
Oh
That's
yeah, these are the
definitely what
fish
you'd see at the
trampolines.
fish concert. Yeah.
That's the fish trampolines there.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
so like you can like bounce up and see what's going on over everybody's shoulders.
No,
No, it's
the band would
yeah.
put them up and bounce in unison as they play. It's one of their gimmicks
Oh,
because the music
oh, the
doesn't cut it.
gimmicks. Oh, you mean like the drummer who sits around in a dress?
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
just like that.
Exactly.
My brother is
Distraction from
the
the music
fisherman
there.
in our family, right? So my younger brother did all that stuff. You know, he was going to Electric Forest back when it was like Rothbury Music Festival. He likes the jam bands. I got no patience for that. I want right to the heavy shit. Like give me the dubstep. I want the bass. I want to feel the bass just like rattling my chest with all the decibels from the speakers. I want to feel it.
That's when you got to go to the fill zone, baby. Literally in the old Grateful Dead world, there was a place they used to put. There were people who were like severely handicapped, deaf people that
Right.
would literally be. They would go in front of Phil, and they would put him right in front of the bass section of these giant arena rigs, so they could just literally people who can't even hear, they would just feel the
Feel the
bass.
music. That's so
Yeah,
cool.
and it was all right in the Phil, right in front of Phil, right in front of the bass to just freaking get slammed with that noise.
Is that Wall of Sound days or after that?
No, no, this is like later. We're talking like 80s,
Ooh. Oh.
90s.
Well, we
Yeah.
crushed Instrumental in that battle, by the way. I just watched the playback. Absolutely destroyed.
Nice. Call out right there. Nice
Yeah,
shout
that's
out.
great.
Bam.
Yeah. I
Oh,
just,
fuck you.
the less units there are, I think the more powerful a Kane's ambush becomes, right? So,
Oh, hell
when
yeah.
you're in that like Forza party, what is it? Forza party? Forza,
Was it
I don't
crowd?
know what they call it.
Forza crowd.
Well, whatever they call that battle condition. I was like,
Oh yeah, it's not rule sets. It's
Score
battle
on the floor.
conditions.
They're
oh,
bad. Really? They changed that too now?
Yeah.
What?
yeah,
No.
oh yeah, you're
No.
Oh
right.
no.
Now it
It's
just says
called. Excuse me.
you
It's
can
called
summon.
modifier. It's not
Yeah,
rule set.
you
It's
can summon
modifiers.
a maximum of 4 units.
Modify.
Um,
Guess it
yeah,
makes
so I was
sense.
like, yeah, let me just jam it.
Summoner. God damn it. What?
So,
We're gonna call this
br-
episode "Summoners and
this
Monsters." God damn it!
brings
Summoners and modifiers and units.
so this brings me up to something that I haven't really talked about a lot, but I think this would be a great platform. You talked about the modifiers and really looking at the language of our game, what's a modifier versus a rule set. And that goes in line with the tournament thing. I think for us really to have to really build up this tournament thing, we need to have a rules committee. Whether that's one person, 3 people, 5 people, it could be DAO sponsored, it could be DAO volunteers that are voted, like the board or whatever, but they work with the devs to make sure that the rules interact the way that they're supposed to interact. That way, if we need to like answer a question like, does amplify stack? How does resurrect work with the positive buffs or the negative debuffs? How do those work?
How do
I know.
reach monsters operate in Super Sneak? I still don't know the answer to that one.
Right.
I've been
So like
asking
there's
about that in
charts,
UX.
things like that. And obviously part of that is in our knowledge base. But I think, instead of having like testers go in and work on this or who does the new set, right? The guy Joey does the new sets, right? And he's making these new abilities. Have that rules committee looped in to make sure we get the wording right, to make sure that all these little interactions down the line works the way they're supposed to. And again, if it's a rules committee or like a, someone on this like competitive tournament group, whatever, have them weigh in on the tournaments too. Have that, like kind of competitive play thing where we're making sure everything works the way it's supposed to do, both with the words, with the gameplay. So it's not like, okay, well, we don't have devs to redo that, so it's just going to work like this for now, even though that's not what we intended, but we can't make it work the way intended until we have like a dev slotted to.
Have we ever had an issue with, I mean, I see the importance of the words for sure, but have we had ever an issue with the functionality not working right? I mean, I've seen over the years hundreds of people saying, well, I've done it a few times too. I'm like, wait, here's a bug in the battle. It was supposed to do this and this happened. And it turns out there's always an explanation. Like it seems like the game works as it's intended to. I want to say 100% of the time. I've never seen like ever someone post a battle where they're like, oh, this attack was wrong or this didn't work. There's always a reason.
Yes and no. Yes and no. I mean, obviously the code is the law, right? So however it's coded is how it's going to work.
Unless there's a bug. Yeah.
Right. So, but I think there was something mentioned a couple days ago when they were looking at some of the interactions, like you said, for Super Sneak versus, and how the different melee attacks work.
And I would love to see, I feel like rule sets are the easiest way to keep things fresh and constantly evolving, and they're inconsequential, right? Like I remember in the past when we were, a much more rigid development team, and it would, having somebody step aside to make new rule sets was an investment of time, and it was new rule sets maybe once every couple of months.
Yeah.
Folks like when Equalizer came out, Matt Clark has called out a number of times, like the first card that he went out and bought was
the dwarf.
Yeah,
right?
exploding dwarf. Exploding dwarf.
Because all of a sudden it's a monster.
Yeah.
Oh, he's sick.
I don't know
Exploding dwarf.
Yeah.
That's my second favorite card because of the explosions.
And he's got a beard.
And he's got a beard and a badass.
It's a double whammy, dude. Get him the googly eyes, and it's the trifecta. Yeah. But I would love to see like a new influx of fresh rule sets come in every season, every month. If it flops,
you've never
retire
mentioned
it.
that before.
Cycle them.
You've never mentioned that.
Yeah, never.
Yeah, you want? Oh, you're pushing for them to get rid of back to basics. I'll fight you on that one, Jimmy.
Back to basics.
Just to vote with.
Just rotate them. Just rotate it. Like
rotating is cool.
I'm all right with back to basics every once in a while, but
everybody's health is 6.
Everyone what?
Everybody's health is 6.
Life leech, baby. That's Lorcus right there.
Yeah.
6s across the board, baby.
Yeah. So I mean, like we need those rule sets, and if there's like a battle committee or whatever it is that you want to call it, that's like checking and balancing this stuff. Do you guys remember when they adjusted Retaliate to be amplifiable?
Oh,
so
yeah.
Retaliate all of a sudden started doing 1 extra damage, and everyone was like, "What the fuck is going on here?" Like,
I was like,
why is this amplified? That doesn't make any sense.
I didn't like that either. I thought that was so silly.
Yeah, like it makes sense with all of the others, Return Fire, Magic Reflect, Thorns. Yeah, that makes sense. But a Retaliate getting amplified is just bizarre. It's a stretch.
I'd rather see the Backfire get retaliated.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, the Backfire get amplified. Backfire, that seems like something I would definitely want amplified.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But I think the suggestions for new rule sets could just as easily come from the community. Like we could have a room where people propose them and like the devs see them and they can pick. For me, like the way I saw the rules committee was less about the rule sets and making sure that not only the cards work the way they're supposed to, but that way, they can go in and they could, put in the FAQ or all these like errata questions corner cases. How does this card interact with that card? Uh, I remember, I don't know, it must have been a couple of years ago, right? Aggie was still doing the town halls, and someone asked, like, "Hey, is this interaction working the way it was intended when the ability was designed?" And the answer was, well, it works the way the code says it was supposed to. And so I don't know, that answer told me, like, are they really like thinking about applying these different abilities in layers? Are they just kind of like programming the abilities, seeing how it works, and then tailoring the errata around whatever was the easiest lift for the devs that, made sense, it kept things competitively fair? I'm not exactly sure what that process looks like between designing the cards, developing them based on everything that's been programmed before. And so I would guess that maybe some of those decisions about how cards work are more about it being an easy lift that makes sense than like it would make the most sense for it to work this way, but we can't make those change, or the way some of these abilities were layered, we would have to redo many more things before it works the way we really want it to. So some of those decisions are harder. Some of those decisions might be, the dev team saying, "Hey, we actually can't get it to work like that. We need the rule to interact this way. That's the only way we can program this new thing." So for me, I think like that rules team or the competitive play team is less about picking those new rule sets, but more about making sure the cards work the way they're supposed to, making sure like the definition of those different abilities is kind of streamlined, all done in a very simpler fashion with its templating. So the words mean what they're supposed to mean. Specific words in specific context for our game mean something. And again, I'm drawing a lot of this from Magic the Gathering. That's got, thousands of cards and many more rules and phases to worry about. But when I think about like rules advisors and people who are, taking care of competitive play, making sure everything works that they're supposed to do, I think that was one of the things that I think is really holding back high level esports is, where is all the information about how everything works? Do I need to make sure I'm asking the right question to like trigger that answer on the message board? Or are there, is there a thread for each ability? And it doesn't just like explain the ability, but then there's like FAQ about this ability and how it might interact with other things. I think there's a lot of room for us to support our highest level players, our competitive players, by making sure they know exactly how things are supposed to work. And, you said it exactly right. Keeping track of the attacking priority of different melee attacks, how does super sneak interact with opportunity, interact with reach? What happens if my melee attacker has a dual attack with sneak? Is that going to change where it attacks if there's a opportunity? So 100% agree. We need it to be easier to find, and we need people to make sure everything's working as intended. So, yeah, that was a total aside anyway, but I'd love to see a rules committee.
Well, you enjoy the writing process, don't you?
Yeah,
You're a
I
big
would
writer.
I would be happy to help out with the rules committee. I've 15 years of competitive play from Magic the Gathering. I worked as a Magic the Gathering judge for 10 years. So when I wasn't playing in the events,
Get the
I was
fuck out of here! You were a judge.
I
Man,
was a Magic the
Judge
Gathering
Deuce.
judge, level
Judge
level 3
Deuce.
Nickname.
judge.
Judge
Yeah.
Deuce.
Cool as a jund.
Yeah,
Bam.
look, those judge promos were nice. Forget about getting paid in cash. I was getting paid in foils. Pay me in
Forget
foils.
that.
I'm in. That's a good
Sick.
deal. But yeah, I mean that's where I got the idea from, obviously. But I think you need that. If we're giving away thousands of dollars in esports, If we want to have the big eyeballs and drawing, people got to know how everything works. We got to be able to pull it up. I wasn't sure why that attack. Before going to the next battle, let's go look at that ability on screen with the viewers, right? Okay, let me pull this up so we can all learn something about that interaction. Oh, okay, this is how it's supposed to work. Okay, I look at that FAQ. The last thing you want is, you think, you looked at the explanation, you're pretty sure this is how it's supposed to work, then you get to gameplay and it doesn't work like it's written down. And then it'll be like, hey, well, that's the way it's coded. That's the way it's supposed to work. No, we need to make sure the code matches what was intended. Or at the very least, say, hey, this is the way it's coded now. Once we have the devs to get the code the way we wanted to, then we can update it in the rules guide. Say, hey, okay, we've now got this working properly. It now works this other way. And they've made those changes, right? You brought it up with the Retaliate. They've made those changes as needed to improve the competitive play, right? They changed the way Mimic works, so it wasn't just such a blowout all the time.
Wait, what's the Mimic change? What's the Mimic change? I missed it.
It was a while ago. I don't.
What'd they do?
Yeah, it was when CA came in.
I don't even know what the change was. That's what's so crazy about these rules. All I know is these Mimic cards aren't as powerful as they used to be. I think maybe every unit that attacked the Mimic creature, or unit, there was like a 50% chance you could steal one of those abilities. Yeah.
Like no.
Yeah, every turn.
But isn't that crazy? Like I use this card all the time because I know the ability is OP, and I have no idea how it actually works. I literally have no idea how it works.
You're right. This is something I've been saying for years is like, and I've had new players come in and they're like I had someone ask me once, where do I learn about card rarities? And you go to where it said it in the game, and it just said it was an arrow pointing to that little bubble that said, this tells you if it's a common, rare, epic, or legendary. It didn't tell you anything about what each rarity meant or anything like that.
Right.
So, and what you're saying about abilities, something we have needed for a long time is a centralized location to find all of that information very easily.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking about rule sets, everything about the game. There literally needs to be some type of centralized organized point of reference.
Yeah.
Support.splinterlands.com, dude. That's it.
Yeah, it doesn't quite work that way.
For me,
and it's hard to find too.
Abilities, I would still use Splinter cards. If I want to know about abilities, you can go to Splinter cards. You can click on the abilities. It tells you what it does. And then it shows you all the cards with those abilities.
Right. That's what I mean. And that has to be in game. That has to be in game.
Did you guys see Splinter cards is no longer getting updated?
Yeah.
I heard about that.
That's sad, man.
Brutal.
I feel like the DAO should buy Splinter cards.
Let's buy it $10. Let's buy it for $10.
Well, let me ask you this. All of the code to pull the pricing info, you don't need active development. Like everything, all the stuff. So, when he says he's not going to develop it anymore, obviously if there's errors, right? If all of a sudden something breaks, he's not there to fix it. And if there's like new sets or new information or changes in the
none
data,
of that will get funneled through.
But all this stuff that's saying, how much SPS, how much DEC, how many packs, all it's doing is like every 5 minutes it's pinging the APIs off of the blockchain, off of like a validator, and putting that information on our screen. So I think that stuff is just going to continue running behind the scenes. What we won't have is anything new added. And, if something breaks, he won't be there to fix it.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. It's not great. I think people have talked to him about trying to see if they can, take that over. I mean, I assume he still gets some tips, some things. So I don't know how often.
Talk to a Crypto Eater and a Qualis. They should absorb that.
Oh my God, Qualis.
Well, Qualis became Elmo Burns.
Yeah,
And
as far as the
great,
cycle,
which is
I
a
don't
great.
know. You know what?
That's my favorite market right now for
No,
buying.
no way, no way. Here's the
Best
thing. You know
Did
what?
you
cash
did you buy
back.
into the Qualis DAO? Is that what you're?
No, I
Me? No,
didn't.
I didn't
I
buy into
just
it.
buy cards there.
You know what? I still buy on Peak Monsters. Ooh, that looks good, Jimmy. That looks
I just
good.
found this cleaning up my shop.
Oh, nice.
I
I
forgot
can
I had.
Jimmy,
I can put
it's
that
it's
somewhere.
the drugs roadshow, dude. Last week it's
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Is
psychedelic
there?
This
psychedelic
isn't drugs
mushrooms. Now it's
anymore. This
some.
is this isn't
It's
drugs anymore. This
It's
recreational.
is
It's
drugs.
all right. It's
yeah, it's
just
a
as much a drug
recreation. Oh,
as
come on.
tobacco,
Plant.
nicotine, and booze. Oh
Oh, okay,
man,
fine. You want to call those drugs? Great.
yeah,
I
it's
don't do
mind
Yeah.
altering.
tobacco, I don't do
It's mind
nicotine,
altering.
and I don't do booze.
Someone
I
gave me
miss
this
the
a few months
ganj,
ago. I
dude.
I
totally
I
forgot
barely
about
even
it.
do coffee.
Well, I do too much coffee,
Oh,
and
Yeah,
okay.
that's
Well,
why
you
I
got to
need the
balance that
weed.
out.
Weed has to
Yeah,
balance out
you got
the
to
coffee,
balance it
man.
out.
I
Yeah.
like eating. I don't like smoking anymore. I like to just take a little
Oh,
bite.
okay.
Jimmy is
Fair.
nibbling full nugs on this
Full nugs.
TPG
Yeah.
episode.
This is
Yeah.
Blue
What
Dream right here.
what flavor? Oh, what a great growing plant. That
That's a
plant
Blue
grows like
Dream
such a
right there.
Yum,
yeah,
dude.
blue dreams.
Oh, it's
So
delicious. It's
very
one of my
short
favorite
flowering
varieties.
cycle too.
Mm.
It's that's why people would cross pollinate their plants with blue dream all the time because it was such a sturdy, hardy growing plant, short flowering, short cycle. Yeah,
Is
that's a
weed
it's a good
recreational in New
grower.
York yet?
Ah,
Oh yeah. Oh, for a
Yeah.
while now. Yeah. I mean, basically since the pandemic, they didn't want people going outside acting the fool. So like, all right, let's decriminalize everything. So everybody just like stays home, smokes weed in their apartment. They didn't even like the people who are popping up and selling it, they're like, fine, sell it. Honestly, they just wanted people just staying home smoking weed. So
Nice.
now they're cleaning like oh
That's a very
so
different pandemic in New York story than you heard on the news.
oh yeah.
yeah.
No, they just like whatever they could do to keep people inside, just chilled out. They're like, yeah, smoke as much weed as you want. That's the same thing with like these like the shops. Like, hey, if you want to sell liquor, you got to sell some food too. But like, man,
Yeah,
people
you
just
got the food in
getting
there.
drinking in the streets. Man, that was crazy. That was crazy.
Mind trick?
Being in the city during the pandemic was nuts.
Well, I must
Absolutely.
have been insane.
Yeah, it was. It was great.
You
Loved
should do
it.
a
Like
PT post about that.
little like 12 people house parties. We just throw house parties with like the same little bubble, right? It would just be the same 12 people all the time.
Hey,
It just,
what's up, Doc? I'm
hey,
getting like Bugs Bunny
Yeah.
vibes here,
oh,
dude.
it's my party at 12. It's my party at 12. It's the same 12 people. We've been partying for 6 months. Same 12 people. Who's DJing today? You know, luckily, like four of us were DJs, so kept things interesting. Yeah. Pandemic was crazy. But yeah, honestly, it's legal. I got four plants growing on my patio right now in like 32-gallon buckets. With some dirt
So is
buckets on the
is that
patio.
enough for you to supply your own habits?
No,
You're just supplementing.
no. No, and honestly, the quality is not that great either. The air is so dirty. Like when I'm in there trimming, right? I'm
Homegrown's
in there
tough.
like I'm in there like literally with tweezers, like picking out debris. I got like little like scraps of nonsense blowing through this Brooklyn air. Like it was the the picking the debris out of the cola was like way worse than having to like snipping with the little trimming
You're in
tweezer.
Brooklyn, huh?
Yeah,
Get the
yeah.
fuck out of here! Sorry, I had to do that.
Bushwick, baby.
I played the
Well,
Brooklyn Bowl.
walk in here.
I'm walking
Played the
over
Brooklyn
here.
Bowl several times at the Brooklyn Bowl.
Yeah, Zed's dad just played the Brooklyn Bowl. Insane show. Insane.
Nice. We
Oh,
played when the who's the drummer for the guy with the giant afro from
Questlove.
yeah,
Yes, bam. We played in
Questlove.
front
Dude,
of him
Questlove is the
once.
business, dude.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
guy is
dude,
he's
We
great.
legit.
played in front of him once. Yeah.
Sick.
He
Over at the
was in
Brooklyn
charge
Bowl.
of doing the soundtrack for the SNL 50.
Oh.
SNL 50 celebration. Loves Saturday Night Live. He has a native
Oh
New
yeah.
York. Love that show. What an institution.
Oh, I saw a
Jimmy's bringing
fantastic
a
movie.
certain line from Saturday Night Live circa 40 years ago back recently.
Which one? Which one?
Chocolate babies.
Chocolate
my God.
babies. That's right.
Laugh.
Or do you remember the Festrunk brothers?
No,
The
no.
Fest Drunk
Steve Martin,
Brothers?
So
Test Drunk, Festrunk. Dan
the
Aykroyd, Steve Martin were the wild and crazy
early
guys.
Oh, the
gosh,
Wild and Crazy Guy. Yeah, I
oh
never
gosh.
knew their names, but I knew the Wild and Crazy Guys.
Yeah, I
Their
wasn't
names are
there.
George and York Doc.
Yeah,
Your
the
duck.
first maybe like 7
It's so
years.
stupid.
I
It's
I
so
was too young.
funny.
I was too young.
My aunt turned me on to that skit when I was
Oh,
probably
Szaleć
like
skryp skrabno, czato
10,
jato
11
cięcie
years old.
wyszedł. Amerykański
I knew
wyfłaniany
Dan
smooth.
Aykroyd from like Ghostbusters and
Yeah,
that
Bill
sort of
Murray.
stuff. And then I see him as the Wild and Crazy Guy. Steve Martin too. Yeah, both
Guys,
of those
there is
guys.
an incredible movie out. I caught it on a flight. While I was scrolling what to watch on a flight, and it caught my eye. It's a recreation. It's a movie. It's not a documentary. It's a recreation of the first night of Saturday Night Live. How it literally almost didn't go on air. Like it was a split-second decision, spur of the moment. Like they were putting together this whole thing, trying to make it work the very first night, and it literally almost just didn't even make it. Very entertaining movie, and if you're a fan of Saturday Night Live, it was brilliantly cast. It was really, really, really well done. Very enjoy. I forget the name of it, but if you look it
Gotta
up, it
check
was
that
like
out. Yeah, I'll find it.
yeah,
I love,
so
I love
good,
that.
so good. And it was all from like they were following around Lorne Michaels. Basically, they were just following him around all night, and it was all the freaking madness that was going on. And
Is it just called Saturday Night? Does that sound right?
yeah, I think so. I think so. That does sound right. Watched it a couple months ago on a flight,
Yeah, Lorne Michaels, Chevy Chase,
but not
Dan
them. Like
Aykroyd,
they're not
John.
actually.
Yeah. Right.
Oh,
That's
and here's a
the
nice
original
little,
cast, right?
oh yeah, nice little
Belushi.
trivia. Who was the first guest on the first episode of Saturday Night Live?
I have no idea. When was it? 1970.
78.
Five.
Oh,
Five.
75. Oh, yeah, duh, right? Because now we're in 25, so 50 years.
75. Who was the first guest the first night? And you know who it is.
I Googled it.
You looked
I
it
cheated.
up. Don't look. Yeah,
I cheated.
but, yeah.
Legendary comedian.
Oh, George Carlin.
Bam!
Nice.
You just won a hearty stonefish. I gotta send it to you right after this show, man.
Without looking at it, honestly, he's my favorite comedian.
That was it. Yeah. Yep. And
And
yeah.
a New York City guy, right? Grew up in
Yep.
projects in
Mhm.
Harlem. Grew up in city housing.
Almost a prophet if you look at what he was saying. I just watched a 90-minute
His stuff.
comedy show of his the other night. It was freaking brilliant. I forget
I
how
mean,
good he.
all his comedy was really social commentary.
Yeah,
I
100%.
loved his bit where religion was just people fighting about whose imaginary friend was more powerful. Like, what a great bit. That's my favorite Carlin bit.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh,
man,
he
he
said
went on
in
for
this
like
episode.
10
Yeah.
minutes. It's just people fighting about whose imaginary friend is more powerful.
That's
Crazy.
awesome. Yeah, he
Oh,
said something
man.
the other night. It was what was it? He was like,
You
I
ain't
used to be
wrong.
I was raised religious until I hit the age of reason, is what he said. It's funny stuff. Yeah. It's George.
Oh, he was
Brilliant.
great. He was ahead of his
Yeah.
time. Love it. He's the
Yeah.
kind of comedy that wouldn't get canceled now, right? All that low-hanging fruit where I'm going to make fun of other people, right? We've kind of gotten rid of that low barrier for comedy. But his comedy was really like that social commentary, make you think, oh, I'm laughing, but also now I'm really pissed off at all these other people doing the wrong
Oh
thing.
yeah, no, it was
Yeah.
very real. It was
His
real.
comedy would fire you up,
Yeah.
ready to rebel. Love it. We need more of that.
It's all a special club and you ain't in
Right,
it.
Yeah, exactly. And what a line.
Yeah. No, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Szaleć skryb czato jato cięciu wieczór.
Splinterland's the club for anyone. You can come and play in Frontier
Oh
mode,
no.
play in Modern. You
Well,
can
now that we have Frontier mode, otherwise I would say George Carlin's line was very accurate. It's an exclusive club. and you
Oh,
ain't in it.
no, anybody can come. That's not true. Anybody can come and play.
Who's buying Hall of Legends?
We're moving
No,
back the right
I was.
direction.
we're moving
Finally.
back.
I was buying Hall of Legends all day, every single
Yeah.
one. You know
No,
it.
I boycotted. I bought a few, but I would not max them out.
The only
But
thing, the only thing that frustrates me is I wasn't quick enough to buy my last two BCX of gold foil Rick Launeman.
Rick
Still
Launeman,
forever
Yo, we know a
chasing
guy. We know a
two
guy.
gold foil. I need two gold foil. No, no one's selling this guy. Who's selling the gold foil of that guy? It's impossible. You can't find them.
how
I
many are
remember
in circulation? How many are there?
less. How many
Gold
total
foils.
BCX?
There's
Yep.
59
I think-
total BCX. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
bullshit. That's
There's none.
bullshit.
There's not.
It's a
and
club,
then,
and you ain't in it.
and then I think like 75% of those are already combined into them. Like how many cards?
Yeah,
are there?
23
Not
cards.
BCX, 23
Yeah.
cards.
Yeah, don't get me started on Hall of Legends.
Like
That's
there's
a whole
very
other-
few single BCX even around. Like even if I wanted to buy two, where am I getting two BCX to that guy? It's impossible.
I don't know who's whoever's got them.
Because I know it was
Leave a
it was,
leave a
and
message
I
in the
remember when
comments.
Hank did that post, like, welcome to the family. I was like, damn it, I needed two more. He bought those, and there were four on the market, all at the same price, like $280. And I came back, they were gone. I was so pissed at Hank. I was like, damn it. Normally I'd buy them all P2P, right? Someone would get lucky, and I'd just buy them P2P. Like I had my people I'd talk to when I wanted to get my gold, but people just didn't buy that guy. I feel like they didn't like the rare that was before, and so people just did not buy that cycle as much. They didn't
Rick
buy
Launeman was definitely slept on, for sure.
yeah, and also the rare, right?
It
The
was
rare
just
that
exhaustion, man. It was
the
prices
rare
and
that
That was
gave-
exhaustion.
also part of it.
It was part of it. People
phase
were like,
yeah, I know,
God,
I agree. Look, I agree. I kind of went in
We need
early. I thought
cards
Eleanor,
like that in packs.
everybody wanted the zero, so I spent a lot. I wanted to get that what was it, like a legendary totem? You can get a legendary totem if you spent like in the top 20 or top 30 or whatever. I wasn't paying attention, right? The last day ended up being like on Father's Day or something like that, or Mother's Day. Someone passed me on the last day, and I lost my last spot for the legendary totem.
Damn.
That's
No,
all.
I-
All the
I
Legends
wasn't-
fucked you, dude.
Oh, I did. I finished like in 31, instead of 30. And honestly, I was so checked out on those last two promos too. I was buying most of them on the market. I'm like, I'm fine. Like my position was huge, but so many people came in on like that last day, and I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. But I don't know. Look, if that's what they needed to keep the lights on, then I'll glad they
I don't know.
Yeah, it's
That could have been
questionable.
handled a bunch of
Yeah,
different
that's
ways.
questionable. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope we never see that again. I think fixing
I
things
don't
at that
think we
price
will.
was
I think
brutal.
the mistake was recognized, and
Yeah.
I think we're moving
I think so.
forward. Moving on. Ooh,
Yep.
Festrunk Brother cards. Bam.
Yeah, good. I'd rather a whole mini set than just the 5 cards. Look, I think part of that was just they did not have the people in place to develop as much as they needed for that.
It's the same
monetary-
team now, Deuce.
Oh no, it's not the people. It was the price. It was the Matt thought we had, we only had whales in the game. He literally said in town halls, we need things for whales to buy. It's come to my attention. We need things for whales to buy. So they did Hall of Legends at that pricing. And not realizing it pushed people out.
It did. It did.
Literally did. People literally quit. They said, I'm quitting.
Yeah.
The occasional Hall of Legends type promo I think is fine, but
Yeah, one card every
running 10 of them and then Heloise on top of that,
Yeah.
it was too much.
The hell who's on top was nuts.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing about Heloise, though, it was an auction, so people, the price was driven up
Yeah.
by demand, whoever created demand, whatever, but it was driven up by demand.
Yeah, but I mean, how many of those cards are not meta right now? Not many of them.
Yeah,
So
no,
in order to
just-
remain
just the
competitive,
sneak guy.
you
that's the whole problem. You
Yeah,
had to
the
pay a
sneak
shitload of
the
money
sneak
to stay
guy is not
competitive.
meta, and
Neff kit.
I don't really think any of the rares are meta, right?
Well, hey, the henchling has come out for sure because of to get slayed.
Yeah,
Having that true strike is huge.
but the henchling was that guy was a
Oh, that was
Bitcoin.
Baron Fiat. Yeah. You're
Yeah.
right.
Fiat and henchling was a different promo.
Night Stalker is there.
Yeah, but even then it's like, yeah, but he's not like even that sneak strategy with him isn't ubiquitous, you know. And then the one that gave Phase Ward now is not as good as Jicarella, right? So you know you
Yeah.
can get around that one, and you know Jicarella gives like the backline cleanse, right? So that backline cleanse off of the original guy. That one's not as important. So they've kind of like definitely phased out the importance of the rares. But you're right, the legendaries outside of Neff, and honestly, Nefkit's a beast. Like I don't think people really
Oh no, that card's
anything of his
insane. That
abilities.
card's fucking insane,
like
man.
it'll actually absolutely eat up a Rick Launeman that's on the back line. You know, like if Neff
Rick
Rick
Launeman
Launeman. Oh, like
Isn't that his
Rick
name? That's his
Launeman
name.
from Brooklyn.
What's his name?
from the down from the
Launeman.
Bronx,
It's
That's his
Launeman.
name. What are you
Rick
talking about?
Launeman.
That was
down
always
on
his
Long
name.
Island. Rick
Long
Launeman.
No, but
Island.
look,
Yeah, I went to Oneonta. I'm
Nefcat-
from Long
Nefcat
Island.
as much as they should, and in those range only battles, it's just insane. It's like one of the
Archer
best
only?
cards in range only. Yeah, because
That's-
people,
yeah.
you know, people are going to spend all their time using the headwinds so that way, you know, your range attacks don't deal any damage. Well, honestly, at this point with these range only battles, I'm not even trying to beat them with range. I'm trying to beat them with all the other abilities that they aren't.
Right, the
dealing
magic. You're right. The
Yeah, the
sneak in
magic,
there,
the
yeah,
sneak
yeah.
attack. Yeah, honestly, Nefket's really good too. They're all really good. They're all
They're
really
too good.
Honestly,
That's the
you
problem.
can't,
And the
you
rare,
can't.
I didn't know the rares had slipped out of the meta. That's almost disappointing too. To be like,
No, honestly, none of the rares are really in the meta besides the Phase Ward with Slade. Which of the other
I
rares
mean,
are in the meta?
to be fair, all we
It's
need is
Stalker.
we've
Again,
seen
I
stuff
Stalker.
like shake up and down. Rick was really huge in the Tofu Chaos Legion Rebellion era. Izzyar, Adelaide,
Launeman.
Rick Launeman.
Yeah, I
He's
it was
still
really good with
relevant,
his-
but he's not. He was traded for like $90 a BCX for a good chunk of time. Not anymore. But I mean, all it takes is
Oil prices?
some new
That's crazy.
summoners or a couple more rewards sneak cards to support.
or some fun rule sets that encourages
Or some
use.
fun rule sets.
They bring back Martyr.
Yeah, boom.
Ooh.
I mean, honestly,
I
that's what
kind of
made
like Martyr being rare as hell, and that brings the fun to the wild too.
Oh, I wish
Wild. I want to see more value driven to wild and to into older cards, and having
I
like
want to see wild exclusive
exclusive
rewards, man. And
Yeah,
modern
baby.
exclusive rewards.
exclusive rewards?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, you could only get this by playing wild, motherfucker. Yeah,
The same should be true for survival and tournaments.
yeah, man. Why
That's a
not?
lot.
That's
You get
cool,
a different
man.
mustache skin for each league has a different mustache
One's the
skin
Fu
available.
Manchu, one's the handlebar, one's the goatee.
Totally, one's the Derek Smalls all the way down to the
Oh my
freaking bottom.
goodness.
Yeah.
I look so bad with the mustache. I look so bad with the
But you
mustache.
have one now worked into your beard.
Well, no. I mean, it's part of the beard, right? So like,
Right.
I'm usually at like a 3. So like when I like trim, when
We got
trim,
like the same thing going. I trim a 3.
Yeah.
We have like
Yeah, I trim
almost
at
the
a
exact
3,
same shit going
and then
on.
usually I'm about a week between like lining up the beard and everything. So
Yep.
everything a 3, and then I line up the beard once a week. But
Yeah, I think we have the same
I've
freaking thing
definitely
going
done
on.
some of those, like, what is it, like the mustache November, right? Where, you just like look real stupid. Everybody grows a mustache in November. I've done that.
Just-
Yeah. Sometimes when I'm like trying to punk my partner and I'm like shaving, like I'll like shave just the mustache and be like, ew. And then
You got the salty dog, like no mustache, anti-mustache. You got the beard with no upper
Is that
lip.
what that's called? Is the
It's
salty
called the
dog?
salty
The salty
dog. I
dog,
thought that was
yeah.
like
Where
the
you,
Amish look, right? Isn't
no,
that
where
the
you shave
Amish
your
look?
mustache, but you still keep the beard. That's
Yeah, I
the
thought
salty
the
dog.
Amish.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I don't want to do
Oh,
that
salty
either.
dog, man.
So I did that a few times, and it looks really awkward.
It's very
I don't
weird, man.
know.
It's
I
kind of
mean,
creepy.
the idea behind my beard is that I don't like shaving, so by keeping,
Right.
that
Same.
that three or four everywhere, I can eliminate the need to shave as
Shave
often.
every day. It's a time
Yeah,
saver. What
yeah.
it is,
Oh, for
man.
sure, for sure.
It's a
The
life
same
hack.
reason, same reason with the top bun. I don't want to have to style my hair, so if I could just throw it and tie it up in a
That's why
knot.
I shave mine off like that, man. Every couple months you go freaking number 6 all the way down. Don't even
Yeah,
think about it.
I used to shave it in college, but I realized the ladies like something to grab onto.
Well, it's in college I had the long hair for just that reason.
College, I went to school in Texas. I had an accent. I didn't need any hair.
Ah, you're from New York.
Uh,
You should have gone to Oneonta. It was the most fun school in the universe.
nah. I went to the University of Texas at Austin. That
Ah,
place,
dude, Oneonta made the Playboy top 10 like places to go to school back in the 90s. So, just
dude.
so you know.
If Oneonta made top 10, Austin probably was locked in at number one. Like that
Ah,
Austin is a
maybe.
insane city, and that college is so big. Oh my God, I loved it. Not only did I love it, but like being a New Yorker at the University of Texas, like that was great. Because it was filled with like a bunch of people who like hated being from Texas anyway, because they were all like, these blue blood stuck in a red state. So I was like, yeah, let's all go to this Texas school and be liberals together. And so they loved my New York accent in Austin. It was great. Better than long hair, Jimmy. It's better than long hair.
Long hair was all right at the time.
Yeah.
Gotta say.
All of a sudden I showed up and all of a sudden I had an accent. I was like, this is great. I've
This is
never had
great.
an
I had
accent,
an
but this is
accent. I never
great.
had an accent before. What the
Oh,
fuck's
this
going
accent is
on?
cool.
Now, get
I was
the
like,
fuck
oh,
out of
I
here,
didn't realize,
Texas.
didn't realize how much everybody loved that. Yeah, I was doing a lot of get the fuck out of here's. Forget about it. It's a lot of forget about it.
Forget about
Forget
it.
about it. Forget about it. Just say yes. Just say yes. Forget about it. Just say yes.
Oh shoot!
And
All right,
we're
gentlemen,
gonna
we gotta
fire
wrap this thing up
darkness.
here. Go ahead,
Is
Fire
Jimmy.
that
Lord of the
true?
Darkness,
It's
Daniels.
only it's only 1:30 over here.
Wow, it's a
Yes,
work day over
10:30
here,
here.
man.
Oh.
It's a
It's a
work
work
day.
day.
Daniels has
It's
to
true.
go
I gotta
work.
show up and teach tomorrow.
What do you teach? Gym?
I'm teaching
No
middle
kidding.
school math.
Nice, dude.
Yeah. Sixth graders, they got to learn about ratios, percents, introduction to algebra, variables. Yeah, some cool shit in sixth grade.
I don't remember 2D and 3D formulas. That's like the future math right there.
What are you talking about? You don't know how to find the area of a rectangle?
Okay, well that makes sense. I didn't know that's what it was
I thought
called.
that was just geometry, no?
And no,
Yeah,
I don't. I
2D,
have
two
to. I would
dimensions,
have
right? Two
to. I would have
dimensions.
to look
3D
it up
means
again.
volume.
If you said right now, find the area of a rectangle, I would have to Google it. I
Oh,
honestly.
stop. You would
Length
know
times
length.
width, length
You would
times
know
width,
length
dude.
times
Come
width.
on.
Jimmy, come on. You know length times width. Stop.
No,
Stop.
here's what I know. I
He's
know.
hurting my feelings. He's
Let me
like,
pull it off the wall. I know Ohm's law. This is the
yeah,
things
okay,
that
good.
I
Okay, look.
remember.
All right, so,
Okay,
so you,
yeah.
you you know your physics. Good. You'd be a very good physics student.
Here's what I have to look at every day. Like that's on my wall because every day I have to calculate Ohm's law in some degree.
Ohm's law. That's resistance. Oh,
Resistance, power, current, voltage, all
there
all
you
those
go.
relations.
There you
I
go.
very
V
rarely have
equals
to
IR,
calculate the area of a
right?
rectangle in my real life.
V equals IR.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Bam!
yeah.
You just earned a second Hardy Goldfish.
But I got a, I
Hardy
got a, I got a,
Goldfish.
You
I
Moving
got a
up.
5 on my AP physics. Let's go.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
AP, that's New York shit, man. I think that's a
yeah.
New
You
York
know,
exclusive.
place me in the advance. I like it. Yeah, School's a fun place to be. School's a fun place to be, especially with like sixth graders. These kids are crazy. Like these kids are like maybe they've hit puberty, maybe not. They're all
Sixth grade
different
is what, like
sizes.
12, 12, 13?
Yeah, exactly. 12, 13. Oh, it's crazy. They're all different places, but they all got TikTok, they all got YouTube. They're all saying like the dumbest, craziest shit. I gotta like get on YouTube. I gotta get on TikTok just to understand what they're saying to each
The
other.
Sigma? What the Sigma
Bro,
shit?
that was 2 years ago.
Oh,
Sigma was
was
like
it?
2 years ago. Yeah, it blew their mind when I'm like, "Hey, you guys, all this Sigma talk. Do you know it's actually a Greek symbol that means a lot in math?" And then I tried to teach him what Sigma meant in math, and like, "Yo, Mister, slow down. That's a high school concept."
Yo, mister, slow down.
Yo, Mister, yo, Mister, slow down. Ugh, come on. Oh my goodness, I gotta work on my Spanish. I got a lot of students from Ecuador. Love it, which is really nice. As a Chelsea fan like myself, they're all a big Moises Caicedo fan. So it's really nice that all the Ecuadorian students that I teach now, they all root for the same club. Root for the same
Nice.
club. Lots of Chelsea Football Club supporters in my school. So that is nice. That is nice. Blue is the
Oh,
color.
dude.
Blue
Nice.
is the color. Yeah, man. So what about Splinter Bowl, huh? Hyped for
Splinter Bowl.
Splinter Bowl?
Yeah,
What?
we got a draft coming up here. Fantasy
Jimmy, what do you know
football.
about Splinter Bowl?
What is this madness you guys are talking
What is
about?
Splinter
Splinter Bowl.
Bowl?
I just finished
Splinter
the town
Bowl
hall the other
is
day. I didn't hear Splinter Bowl. Did I miss it?
it's fantasy football for Splinterlands players.
What? What?
Yeah. You play fantasy football, Jimmy?
No, but I bartended for years, so I was around it. But I don't play it. Yeah, I can't get myself to give a living shit about sports. It's just as a musician, it just doesn't cross.
That's a blessing, man. That's honestly a blessing. If I could have
Yeah,
some of all the time I spent like watching these guys run around with balls, and I'd have a lot of time. Have a lot of time on my hands. Yeah, I know, man. I know. But at least in soccer, they don't touch the balls with their hands, right? They're like, no, I'm not going to touch the ball with my hands. I touch it with my feet. Okay. My knee, my head, my chest, but not with the hands.
Yep, nothing below the shoulder.
Balls, no go. But it's a beautiful game. It really is a beautiful game.
My brother's professional soccer player. He played at the Atlanta Silverbacks for years. He played in the Richmond Kickers for years.
Oh, the
Basically,
kickers.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
bam. He was a goalkeeper.
Okay.
His name was Little Jimmy.
How would he stop the shots?
With his giant
That's what you want
balls.
the big
He'd
Jimmy.
swing his
That's
giant
big
balls
Jimmy.
around
Yes.
like it was a freaking helicopter. Damn.
Did you make the playoffs, BJ Angles, last year? You made the playoffs, right?
I don't remember. I didn't get paid out.
Oh yeah,
I
me
didn't get
neither.
paid out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2 years, 2 playoffs, no pay.
This is my second season competing. But yeah,
Yeah.
Tofu.
It's like the
Tofu
like the
organized
guy.
it.
It's like the
Yeah,
guys who
fourth
show
year.
up to Splinterfest in costume and didn't get their payout.
Yeah. I think the
Silent
first year I
heroes.
played, I made it to the consolation. Like I guess the loss in the semifinals. I didn't realize we paid to third place. I thought we just paid.
Also,
to
you
fifth.
just quit playing.
I didn't even like put in my best lineup. I think whatever
Oh,
lineup
no.
I had for the semis just carried over. And what was it? I think Joda. I don't know how to say, but he's the guy who ended up playing me in the consolation bracket. He's like, bro, what happened, man? You didn't want to play for third place? I was like, yeah, who cares about the consolation game? And he's like, no, they're paying to third place. I'm like, well, congratulations, you won. Some number of SPS. You got me, bro. You got me. I
Hey,
was
10
not paying
SPS is
attention.
10 SPS, buddy.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
No,
That's
the
10
ante
future
for
dollars.
this league is
That's $10.
3,000. 3,000
What?
SPS for the ante. Yeah, I still think that's chump change. I think it should be 10K, but I don't know.
Bring it on, man. People like
People
playing
feeling a
that
little
stuff.
hard done by with the 3K.
I was just
When I
thinking
proposed
about
10K,
another.
people are like, nah, it's too much. Too
That's not too
much.
much. Fuck that
I
noise.
agree. I can
There's
barely
gonna be high
fantasize
level
about my
players who
players
want to
for
do it.
3000 SPS. 3000
Yeah.
SPS, I'm barely even thinking about my starting lineup.
One thing I've always, uh, I don't know, just been a supporter of. Like we need super low end shit. We also need super high end shit. There's a balance to be had, and events like that where it's like, yeah, 10,000 SPS ante. Yes, please. We
Oh, I'm
need
in.
that. Plenty of
I'm
right.
in.
We
Like,
need both
let's
ends of the
go.
spectrum,
I
man.
would
Not just top, not just
definitely
bottom,
play
both.
in a modern max if we had like a crazy ante. Or,
Yeah.
if we had like we said at the beginning, like a qualifier tournament. Like, hey,
I want to see a tournament where you got to throw up some random old card. Like you want to play, you got to
Alpha
throw
pack.
up a max. Yeah, Lord, an alpha pack. Give me a Lord of Darkness, max Lord of Darkness on the table, man. I
what
want
if
to
we're
see some high stakes
a
tournaments going on.
100,000 SPS is like a top spot?
Bam! You're gonna have at least two people doing that, man.
Yeah,
I want to
but
see it.
have
I
have
want to see it.
have qualifiers go all year. Okay, we're gonna have a 64 player tournament for 100,000 SPS, and we're gonna have 64 tournaments over the course of these 6 months. Every winner of this tournament gets qualified. If you already have one qualification, it passes down to second place. You
Bam.
can't qualify your account twice.
Let's see. You
So
could be the new weird beard because you do have
people
a
would
beard.
play. I do have
We'll
a beard.
call, we'll call you the new weird beard. Get the tournaments rolling, man. Let's get this
That guy,
happening. I want to see
that
it. I
guy
want
was
to see
that
it.
that was my dude. I would riff with that dude about tournaments all the time, all the time.
That's what
Me
he
and him
got paid to do, man. He was a riffer.
I
He
know
was
he
just
riffed.
riff.
He
He
riffed.
riffed.
He
He
riffed,
riffed.
and the other and Chatter grifted. He rifted
He
and
was a
Chatter
rift.
grifted.
We had a rifter and a grifter on
Yeah.
the same
It's not
freaking
it's not like
payroll.
we gave him a lot to work with, but yeah, Chatter was a little rough. We did not give Chatter a lot to work with.
Hey, Waka.
I
I was just
mean,
looking. My bot hasn't played my Waka like I think ever. I don't
I
think
just put
Waka's.
walk on land. That's how good
Oh
he was
man,
doing.
Waka gets
is
nice
it
playing
even worth it
survival
on
mode.
land?
He gets nice playing survival mode.
Was he?
And if you like a max legendary, right? Refreshes every 2 days.
Chaos Legion
Yeah,
Legendary.
I'm in.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I'm playing Waka in survival. It's nice.
Yeah, I tried to get that guy to work, just like Dallin. It just cool
It's hard.
concept.
That
But
Get yourself a Lord of Darkness Jangles maxed. I swear to God,
Did I
it's
buy
it's
it yet? I
it's
thought
a
it was in my
Splinterlands
cart. Did I
staple.
buy it yet? I think I talked myself out of buying the beta legendary, and I talked myself into
Which one?
buying one alpha, whatever the cheapest one. Zalrin was like sitting at $48.
Oh, before the show.
was it for
Falcon?
land?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for then. But instead, because like the max beta is 7,500, but you can get a max alpha epic, and that's 12,500, and those are right about at $100. So you're like, PP per dollar ratio is definitely down. You're down in like I think like the 125 range, but
1250 for an Alpha Epic.
you're actually getting better value buying an alpha epic than you are buying the CL max gold foil legendary.
Bam, 0.008 cents
Yeah,
per
and I
PP.
think they're right around the same price, right? The
Ooh.
max alpha epic and the max Chaos Legion gold foil legendary, both around the same price point, like a 110, 120.
30,
But
60,
the
yeah,
alpha
120, yeah.
epic gets you 12.5. The max CL GFL is only going to get you 10K.
And you have the collectability factor on that Alpha, which
That little
hopefully
alpha.
will play into the situation as we move forward.
Let's see how long those Alpha Epics last after this episode airs.
Oh, there's a couple things I was going to mention that I'm not going to.
Yeah.
But people are buying cards, man. Okay, I'm going to give you a little hint. And
Okay,
Jangles,
I'm listening.
you need this in too.
I'm
If you
listening.
want to play Wild, now is the time to build your Wild deck. There have been some amazing deals on Untamed, on Beta. I haven't really been looking at Alpha, to be honest. I've been just looking at like Beta Untamed for building a play deck. Now is the time. There is deals that are not quite J6969 level when I bought a ton of shit, but not too far off. I've seen some stuff where I'm like, holy crap, that's an incredible deal for some
Yeah.
like permanent meta cards. Lord of Darkness is a permanent meta card. Spirit of the Forest, permanent meta card. Hydra, permanent meta card for Wild. Start poking around, man. There's some deals out there if you want to build your deck. And there's also a lot of great cards. For example, Lord A, the Head in a Jar.
Lord is great.
Level 3 versus level 4, it's 1 health. Grab that level 3 and you have one of the best tanks ever created in the game. With weapons training, that thing is
I
just
like the Vulture. The
Screeching Vulture.
Yeah, Earth
Screeching
Vulture. That's
yeah.
a great card.
Opportunity Earth.
Nice
man.
opportunity flyer.
Flesh
Scavenger.
Golem. Flesh Golem's another freaking classic monster. Feral Spirit. You don't like Flesh Golem?
No, I like Flesh Golem.
It's just getting tired.
I'm on the market as a Flesh Golem hater. You know why? Because I don't like that nonsense with the llama mate. Yeah, I hate all that nonsense. I hate it when people just run like the big
Llama Flesh Golem on a
I
13
hate that.
mana. Man.
I don't like the llama.
Llama's fun. I love the last standard.
The llama, Pelicord, jerk face, and I definitely don't like the llama Kron.
Llama Cora.
Oh, don't tell Dingus that. He's got it tattooed on his forearms. Man.
I don't even
Bam!
like
Oh, shots fired!
The Zenith
Shots
mage,
fired! Bam!
right? Zenith mage, right? The one from like that the rare neutral from Chaos Legion. I've seen somebody run that with
Well, that's the fun thing about Llama.
Starred llama
Like,
mage.
dude, the Goblin healer mage.
Or Llama Cornelius, where you're literally doing nothing.
Oh, exactly, man. There's
Yeah.
some fantastic Llama. It's a fun card, 100%.
I've definitely
it's
been
fun,
running Night Reaper in some 14 mana battles, just like,
Llama Night Reaper?
Skarn and Night Reaper in Modern. In like 14
Night Reaper's
mana.
death, right?
Skarn.
Night Reaper's
No,
Dragon.
Night
big
Reaper's
last
a dragon. It's the one
Dragon.
that has the last stand dragon. So like there'll be
And
like
he shoots
14 mana
the-
battles where I'll just like run the Skarn with like the 3 mana, the new 3 mana Dragon
Yeah.
Archon, and I'll run that with the Night Reaper, and that's nice. 14 mana package. You get such a beefy magic attack there.
6 magic damage.
Yeah, it does some work.
Night Reaper's the flying target guy, right?
Yeah. And it also has deflect, right? So like, you're playing against the Auridum guy, it'll one shot Auridum and not take the blast damage.
Bam.
Yeah. Choose that guy out. Yeah. Yeah. So I like the last stand there. But I don't like, the Llama-Cron, and the most annoying was the Llama Cube. Llama Cube was the most annoying.
They invented cards specifically to counter that one.
Yeah, the Vampiric Blossom.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep. And Venka.
And Venka. Yeah. Venka.
Oh my God.
That's
Fucking
another
killed a
one of those.
mosquito with a mortar on that one. Venka is that woman is the major problem.
Oh, come on.
Trample,
Well, look,
the trample was too much. Trample was too much.
Grim Smith was the problem. Venka was the solution for that.
Well, she didn't need trample. Get rid of
And then
trample.
that was an interesting time in the modern metagame where every time there was a new promo, it was to counter the previous promo.
Yeah, that was yeah.
Yep.
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 Yeah.
Oh, that
I'll
was an
remain
interesting
silent
time
on
to be
that.
alive. That was an interesting time to be alive.
Brighter days are here.
Brighter days. But
I
Jangles, I do
can't
have to say before we leave, I like the new mustache you're sporting. It's pretty cool.
I
stop.
just shaved yesterday, no.
Yeah.
Stop.
I'm talking about the one between your eyebrows. Got the unibrow going there.
Oh, hey now.
Boom.
Whoa,
Chill.
Jimmy.
That was a little low. That was a low blow.
That was right
Oh,
in the
looks
middle of the
good.
forehead. That's where it was.
Looks good.
Oh,
Looking
shoot.
good.
Thanks, bro. Let's
Yeah.
wrap it up, gentlemen. I got a boogie.
Damn.
Deuce.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we only
I
did
gotta
4 hours this time. We only halfway to the 8 hour marathon
hell
there.
yeah.
So
We
not
just
too
didn't
bad.
record the first 2 hours, right?
I know we were talking, we had some great land conversations. Anyone who would have heard that would now be rushing out to buy certain land cards. We're doing
Well, I'm
Would not be
glad
or would be.
I'm
it
glad
would
that
be.
we did not
It
really
would
talk
be.
about land that much during my episode because I really don't care about land that much. I
Except for the
like
cards you're buying and putting on your land.
strategy of battle. I like the strategy of battle. Honestly, I hate that I'm even thinking about maximizing PP on my plots. It's so annoying.
Well, it's in the name of getting better cards via conflicts, right? That's why I'm doing
It's
it.
in the name of honestly, I don't even know anymore. I should just be happy buying my $6 wagons and like not buy another land card ever.
No, buy land
Uh,
cards.
Honestly, it
Just
started
wagons.
like I just want my 5 Rooney to get the Rune Guard bonus. I just wanted that 15% R share bonus. And then it was like, okay, Aura's exclusive. Okay, I got some magic plots. Fine, I'll make some Aura. Then
Yeah.
everybody bailed on mining SPS. Like, okay, let me buy an occupied plot. Let me get that SPS nice and cheap. And now I'm in too deep. Now I have a random epic stone plot in some godforsaken region in the Shimmering Choice just
Damn,
because it was
an
a
epic stone
cheap
plot is
epic stone
fantastic.
plot, and I'm gonna pay 10% tax to send it to my region in 95 for the end of time. I
You
just
just
don't know
sell it for
why.
DEC, dude.
I'm just so annoyed. Should I?
I
Yeah.
love
Is it? But
how
you're paying the tax on that too, right? If you're selling it for DEC or if I'm transferring it to a region where I need stone, I'm paying that 10% either way.
I love how
Are
a
you?
crypto project that said
Aren't
we
you?
want to disrupt how fucked up everything is. We're going to create a system that taxes the living shit out of all of our freaking players. Worse
Stop.
than that happens in real life. It's awesome.
Oh my God, stop.
You're like,
That's
we're going to create this like alternate reality and just say, oh, fuck you, even worse
when
than
you
the
swap
real.
in the market, it's a 10% fee,
Oh, it is
right? Like
10% swap.
6%.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
when you swap in the
bam.
market, and if you do the transportation to a different region, it's
It's also
10%.
10%. Yeah.
12% at that point.
Is
Yeah.
it 12%? No, no. It's 12.
Transportation is 12, swapping is 10.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I thought
Unless they change.
transportation was also 10.
Nope, it was 12, man.
I thought it's
Look it
10
up.
if you
I'll
do it
bet
to
you a hardy
yourself.
stonefish right
I don't want
now.
to buy shit because I don't care about land that much. So you might be right. But if I had to
Did you
sell
buy
it,
that? Did you buy that Zarlin F for land just
no,
before
I
they?
didn't. I
No,
didn't.
it's
What
10,
did you
it's
buy? You bought
10%, dude.
I
Oh,
didn't
it's
buy
All right,
anything.
typically around 10%,
No, well, it was
depending on
12.
size of shipment and market conditions.
Well, that's what
Yeah,
she said.
yeah. So yeah, I saw it. I don't know. I guess I don't even know. I don't even know if I'm doing land right anymore. Honestly,
It
that's probably
sounded
like
like
the
you
most
were. It
frustrating
sounded
thing.
like you were. For 20
But
plots, you want to jack shit
I
up.
got, I got,
You
I
want the
got.
most PP you can get.
Yeah, but yeah, you want the most PP, and I got my Roonies. You know,
Yeah, you get your Roonies. That's
I got my
huge. Dude,
Roonies.
it's almost not worth it without Roonies.
That's what I'm saying. Like I got like
Yeah.
5 plots running without a Rooney, and I'm just like, what are you guys even doing over there? Picking your nose?
All you're doing is paying
What's it
grain to
worth?
get like a couple of fragments of whatever resource it is. You
Yeah,
pay so much in grain, it's
I
insane.
dislike it.
Like seriously, I've been jacking up plots, and I'm like, I don't end up with much more at the end of the day. It's like the consumption balances out the extra production.
I know. That's I
Like
just
to a
realized.
point where it's like, holy shit. I put all this extra DEC in. I'm getting all this, I'm like, here's all this extra PP.
Yeah,
The grain required to make that extra PP
I
negates
don't
the
like any
whole
of that shit. I don't
point.
like any of that
I'm
shit.
like, wait,
I'd be so happy if land disappeared and we could just get all those gold foils back to playing tournaments again.
bam. Yeah, I've got a gold foil, God, cube, flesh golem, creeping ooze, just tons of these classic cards locked on land.
Are they max? They're max gold
Oh
foils.
yeah, no, yeah, those are max, absolutely.
So I could never do that. I would at least need one to play with.
Yeah.
Need one to play with. I'm not throwing stuff on land if it's taken out of my tournament deck.
I'm
But
pulling off
okay,
all my beta summoners are coming off land.
you heard it now. Watch out, Jimmy's coming to the wild.
That's right. Watch out for my Peak Rider. 3 armor coming your way, Jackson.
You should come in and play those tournaments that you designed. Play your Alpha Beta Rebellion tournament.
Hell yeah. My alphas are on land. I got to get those off. I've been
Tell you,
pulling the bait.
the Untamed Rebellion tournaments that we just did this cycle, so much fun. Untamed and Rebellion, what a combination. Love that.
Yeah. Yeah, I do have a Max Rebellion set too. I don't have CA, but Rebellion I do have. You're
All
right,
right.
man. I got to
So
start
it's
rocking the noise, man.
yeah, what do we got to do to wrap it up? Is there like something funny I got to say on the way out?
You got to do an
Let's get the
explosion of
most New York
smoke.
exit possible.
What's the
Let's-
most New York exit possible? I like that. Bam.
What's the New York exit? We would say one. Drop a peace sign and then leave. One. I don't know. There isn't really like a good. There isn't really like a good New York exit. What do you mean New York exit?
That's what I'm
I'm out
asking.
of
I don't know.
here. I'm out
I'm
of
outta
here.
here.
I'm out of here.
I
Fuck you. Fuck you, I'm out of That's more
don't
Jersey.
know.
You, I'm out of here.
I don't know. I like hugging it out on the way out. Like bring it in. Bring it in. Let's get a hug. Dap me up. But I don't know. What do I say when I leave? I don't even know. Usually I'm the one kicking people out. Usually people are at my after party and then I'm making you leave. You have to leave. I'm not going anywhere. It's my house, my party. You all need to go.
6 a.m. Time to go
That
home.
works. That feels pretty
Exactly.
New York.
It is. It is. You know what?
Get the fuck out of my house.
Get the fuck
bring
out of here. Get
I
the
bring 'em
fuck
up
out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. There we
half
go.
an hour after sunrise, that's it. Everybody's out. But that's like like the end of the afters. We go up to the roof, we see sunrise, take some pictures with the Empire State Building in the background, and then you're out. You're out.
And then you blow the air horn in
Yeah.
their face.
By 7 o'clock, I
Air
need to go
horn.
back to bed.
Everyone in the face.
Air horn in your face.
No air horn. There's no air horns anywhere. No air horns. We have lots of bright flashing lights. The flashing lights.
Deuce, we're not going to wait another 146 to get you back on, man. A lot of fun. Lots to talk
It was
about.
a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for coming by, man. I'm glad you reached out and asked us to take you up on it. Let's get the conversation going on this tournament stuff, dude. I feel like
I'm hyped. I'm
there's
here.
definitely something there. Have you published any articles on Peak D about your like fleshing out your ideas?
The 8-player queues. Nah. So maybe I did once.
You should bring it back up, dude.
A community.
Start snapping about it, dude.
Challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll flesh it out. I had also posted, right? Isn't there like a channel in the Discord where you like talk about stuff that you want to turn into a proposal? I'd mentioned that a while back, but once we didn't have the dev power to build the on-demand, I was like put on the back burner. I was like, without the on-demand, just put up the
I mean,
proposal.
we've done it
down
before.
pack.
I've seen those like bracketed tournaments where it's like, the best
We can
3 of
do
5.
them. Yeah, we can do that
Has-
at a set
we've
time.
done
We can
it.
do it at a set time. We can do it at a set time.
Oh, it's not the
Yeah.
sit and go. We can't. do.
Yeah. Well,
Gotcha.
it would.
Well, again,
it would-
until we
it would
get
still be
tactic,
live. What I'm saying is,
live is
there's
better
like
for that.
there's like a running queue. No, I want it to be live. I want the tactics in my tournaments. What I'm saying is, okay, I click on the modern queue for 5x prize. There's 5 people in there. Okay, I join. I'm 6. Now we're waiting for 2 more people to join. Once those last people join, tournament starts immediately, right?
Maybe
it's not
we
like,
can
okay,
get,
I'm waiting
yeah.
for the 7 o'clock tournament to fire. I'm waiting for the 10 o'clock tournament to fire. No, it's on demand, right? You sign up. Once that queue fills, it fires. And now we start filling 8 seats for the next event. That again, that we don't really have like the dev power in the short
Or
term.
player, I would say
Get that
player
out,
base too.
which is
Quite yet.
why I haven't gone through to like put in the time to put in that formal proposal.
I don't know. I feel like
like I said,
8 people field is pretty easy to wrap together, like, once a month, or once
I
every
was gonna
couple of
say,
weeks.
talk Jangles into
we
making a
can
TPG
enter
tournament
that
once a
into
month.
the system we have without a problem. We can make these 8-player queues tomorrow. The proposal would be to get the DAO packs, and the proposal would be the development for on-demand queues that fire once filled, and so they're always there. It's like evergreen, always there. We're always looking for people to jump in.
I mean, I feel like, that's such a big streamer thing. If you can
Yeah,
expand the field to like
Oh,
8, 12,
yeah.
16 people.
yeah.
Yes. Well, flesh it out, man. Let's see some paperwork pitching this thing. Pass
That's
it around the
or
campfire.
if you're a
TPG sponsored
third
tournament hosting
programmer
broadcast.
who wants to just like create a gameplay environment where if people all put in the same ante, that we can fire an event for all the prizes. It doesn't necessarily have to be a Splinterlands DAO that makes it. So we have the infrastructure. I think we have the rails, the codes. I think a third party person could create like an anti platform to fire an event. I don't know. I'm not a coder anymore. I know code, but I don't know how to code.
Jimmy, getting your greens for the day, dude. I love it.
Get my green.
There's vitamin A right there, bro. Nice.
I'm gonna go finish up my homework.
Everybody, hope you guys enjoyed the show. We'll catch you next week. We've got an AMA. We're hosting Dave, Rogue, Tails, Jimmy. I don't know if you're gonna be there.
Thursday, right?
Yeah, Thursday night, 8:30 Eastern, I think.
That's a big cast.
Yeah, we're doing a live stream with Dave doing AMA stuff. So swing by, say what's up, get your questions for the mini set out there. If we don't see you there, we'll see you next week for another episode. Appreciate you guys hanging out. You have been listening to
The fucking People's Guild.
Hey.
Stomping through the ashes, my shadow's tall. Giants once mighty, but even they fall. Bones in the dirt, but the groove don't quit. Marrow's moaning low, can you handle it? can't be beat. Ooh. Hear the clank of the chains, hear the rattle and hum. The funk is forever, baby. Can't